Alrighty. Let me wipe all this stuff off. I don't know why that was on my shirt. Redefine your reality. Okay. Here, let me do something real quick here. I want to lower the volume on the game to more of the party audio. There we go. Okay, there we go. Now that's a little bit better. Alright. Okay, we are on time. So I don't want any bullshit saying I'm early or late. We are right on time.
Way to be,
yeah,
Noah
we
J.
are. And it's not 6 o'clock. Let's get it!
It's already 6 o'clock. Alright.
6 o'clock on the dot.
Alright, so give me... Okay. Oops.
Why do you keep starting a new round?
Don't start a new round.
I can't help how dumb the zombie is. He walks right into my behind me and I'm reloading. Okay. Ooh, the venom. Thank you. Okay. I'll take that. Thank you. Thank you.
Alright.
Get up and let 'em get up. Oh, God. What are you doing, buddy?
Alright. Alrighty. Alright, so I just need to edit these tags and then we should be good to go.
God damn it.
Alright. Shadow said, God damn it. God damn it, man.
Oh, there we go. Let's go. I like that gun. You shooting a skull right now?
No.
Alright.
No.
No, not really.
Why are you
You
shooting?
said that
around?
without... You
Shoot
said
the
that no
spaceman.
without hesitation. So
Wait, what,
quickly.
Penguin? What are you actually shooting at?
Alright.
Spaceman.
He's shooting at
Is this
those
like a side Easter
spacemen.
egg?
It's the song Easter egg.
Oh,
That way you
it's a
get
song
some
Easter
extra.
egg.
I don't need it either, but it gives you extra XP so you can keep leveling up.
Alright.
Okay. I'll let that slide.
I'm gonna let that slide.
I'll let it slide. Okay. So I just want to make sure we are live. We're good.
This is where Penguin says, I don't care if you want to let it slide or not. I'm going to do it anyways.
I'm gonna do it anyways just for the memes.
I'll do what I want, baby.
I'm gonna do it for the lulz.
I do what I want.
Yo, I do what I want.
Way to be, man. Way to be.
Alrighty. Yeah, so I think, let me just refresh everything. Are we good? I think we're live. I think we're
Live
live.
from New York City. No, I'm kidding.
It's Saturday night!
It's Sunday night. What are you talking about?
I know, it's a Saturday night live reference.
I know.
I know, man. I know. Matt.
I know.
I know,
Real.
man. Actually, wait. Let me close the blinds here. This is kind of bothering me. I don't know why. Because there's so much like light on the screen. And I'm not actually gonna turn my light on. Sorry, you get to see a little close up of my penguin pants. All right, there we go.
Pause there.
My dungarees,
Pause.
right? Yeah, pause.
Is it weird? Is it weird that we're in a chat with Penguinator and you're wearing penguin pants? Am I the only one think it's
Yeah.
weird?
Coincidence? I think
I don't know what
not.
happened to those pants.
Penguin, do you guys have that kind of relationship where you wear each other's clothes?
Damn.
Yeah, he wears
I
the
get so
pug
jealous
pants.
that he's stealing my crap.
He wears the pug pants, I wear the penguin pants.
There
Oh
it
my
is.
God. And there it is, chat.
And there it is, boys, right there. Alright, so,
Kyle wears
Anyways.
DJs confirmed.
yep, that's the podcast where nobody gives a damn. You can wear anything you want. So, anyways, welcome to episode number 5 of the Kyle the Pug podcast show. You guys are probably thinking, why weren't you here last week? Well, I had some personal situations to take care of. I know Shadow did. And
Yeah.
I guess Matt might have. Matt, where were you last week? You were doing the same thing, weren't you? Yeah, you were probably off dealing with, I guess, the wife issues.
I
that-
was wondering what the hell. No,
No?
really.
No? Well,
Special
you never.
enemies.
Special enemies, got it. But, anyways, episode number 5 is this week. Episode number 5 is today. And if you guys are
Actually, I
watching
think
on YouTube,
I was available.
I messaged you and you weren't, and I didn't hear back from you. That was weird.
Oh, I was busy making dinner for the little man.
Oh, yeah. I got you. But, anyways, for those who are watching on YouTube, how are you doing? For those who are watching right now on Twitch, how's everybody doing today? I hope you guys are having a wonderful Sunday night. And if it's Sunday night, you know what that means. Obviously, it's in the title of the stream. So,
It's church. Wait, what?
yeah,
Fortnite.
Fortnite time.
Fortnite.
But
I'm leaving.
anyways, and he's out of here. All right.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you guys don't know who I am, I'm Kyle. I can't even talk. I can say my own name. I'm Kyle the Pug.
He's
we
Kyle
talk
the Blue.
about. I'm Kyle the Blue. Yeah, and we get to talk about all the video game topics, all the sports topics, the hottest topics on the show. We're here to have fun. We're here to roast each other. We're here to have a good time. All that good stuff. Shadow's obviously here. I mentioned him. What's up, Ray? How you doing, man?
And
But,
man, leave the chat.
Matt's out of here. So we got Shadow,
I
Penguinator's
couldn't
with
understand what you were
us,
saying, to be honest with you.
and Matt
What's
Man's
up?
also here too.
All I heard was bullshit.
he's talking smack on your Kings again. Like not even 5 minutes into the show, we're already talking smack on each other. Just like, hey,
I
you
know
gotta
the-
you gotta
I know
save
the-
that
I
for
know the
Jackbox. You gotta save that for Jackbox, Shadow.
It's not a
All right.
surprise that the LA Kings are where they are. I'm just putting it out right there right now. I'm not
All right.
surprised.
Well, speaking of sports team, we're
They
gonna
don't
actually,
wanna
we're
be,
gonna
X's Max.
we're gonna switch it up here a little bit, guys.
What?
So what we're gonna do is instead
They
of
don't
talking
wanna
about
be
the
other
video
X's.
game topics first,
No.
we're gonna be talking about sports topics first. And we have a big show. We have a big show right now, and it's very huge. This might be a 2 hour, 15-minute long show. Maybe 2 hours and 30 minutes max if we go that far. But it's the first time I've showed up to a podcast, so that's awesome, Ray. Good job, man.
Hey.
So, but
Where's the Xbox
anyways.
on this one?
But anyways, yeah, like I said, I mentioned we have a big show. We got a lot of baseball, a lot of football. We got some breaking news.
football?
NCAA tournament. And then we got some BO4
should
stuff,
be-
some Nintendo, Life is Strange, Walking Dead, all that coming up later on. But right
I know
now,
there's one right here.
Where?
we are going to talk about opening day. Is just a few days
Here,
away.
just stand right there.
Opening
What
day for Major League Baseball, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Man's excited. Shadow's excited. I'm personally am excited also. It's going to be a brand new baseball season in 2019. 4 days away, so it does start on Thursday. Thursday, I believe it's on the 28th. Yep, the 28th of March. And that's when
Yes.
everybody's playing. Like, there will be no off day. Everybody will be playing on opening day. So, and speaking of, baseball, I actually do want to mention one thing also. I know Matt Man's super ecstatic
there.
and excited about this deal.
Okay.
Matt, man, you need
There we
to
go.
talk about your boy, Mike Trout. His massive deal,
Yes.
man. His massive deal. You gotta be the one. I tagged you in that post, I think, when they announced
Yes.
it, and you
Yes.
were enthralled. You were super
yeah.
enthralled on that. So, like, as an
I'm
Angels
not
fan,
surprised about it.
basically, this beats out the Bryce Harper deal that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, okay, I gotta look back and see what the contract was one more time. What was it like? Yeah, 430 million. That was absolutely insane, man. It's mind-boggling. 12 years, 430 million. I mean, like everybody's in it for the money nowadays. Like, what do you think
Yeah.
personally of the signing, Matt? I wanna hear this from you.
Necessary? To say it in one word? Absolute necessary? Do you really let Mickey Mantle walk away? I mean, seriously.
Right?
You really don't.
Where is it? Where is it?
Up
Oh, there
here.
it is.
Mm. Yeah, because you don't let anybody walk away. It's not just Mike Trout, but like pretty much anybody too. It's just absolutely, it's mind-boggling. And
Yeah, he's
Mike Trout, I think he's probably one of the most
Go
humble
ahead, Abby, if
guys
you want.
in Major League Baseball. Even today, he's like, for one of the star player that he is, he's super humble, very, very humble. And
I have respect
honestly,
for him.
yeah, Shadow, I want to get you in on this too. You
Okay.
said you have absolute respect for him.
Yeah.
So, what about
He's
the
not dedicated
contract?
to being with the Angels. Because if he wasn't dedicated, he would have turned down that contract.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I
Bryce
just
Harper.
Bryce Harper's not really that dedicated. He just wanted to go wherever the money was at. But
Yeah.
honestly,
second
Mike
time,
Trout,
though. He's
Mike
signed with
Trout
the Giants.
will forever be an Angel. I know that firsthand. That goes to
Well,
show
he
you
is.
with that contract that it's just like Kobe.
He already
He's-
cemented himself just by signing that.
the franchise tag is already done. It's basically already
Yeah.
done. So
Yeah, that's the second time he's signed at the end of spring training to an extension. His last extension, he did the same thing. The
He
5-year
probably
extension.
loves the
he had.
team ever since they first brought him up way back in 2012, I think.
mhm.
Yeah.
And we love him back.
Oh yeah,
Right.
you guys are gonna enjoy him for the next 12 years. Just like
Oh,
the
yeah.
Phillies are gonna do with Harper for like the next 12, 13 years also.
Where are you?
That massive
They're gonna be
I'll be
contract.
35. I'll be 35 by the time his contract is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, how old am I gonna be when 44. I'll be 44 when his contract's up. So that
Jesus
is that
Christ.
I'm gonna be an old man. That's a long.
You are gonna be an old fart, man.
Hey, you're gonna be right up there with me too, so don't even give me that.
I won't even look
Yeah.
like I'm 44. I'll look like I'm 25. All the ladies will be on top of me. Bill. No, they're not.
Bill.
No, they're not, Bill.
Calm down, Bill.
Bill, calm yourself, my child. You do not need to be
Yeah.
talking about that. Excuse me, right now, as we currently
This is
speak,
a
man.
family-friendly stream.
All right, so I want to go back to opening day here real quick. So what are your
Yes.
guys' expectations for opening day? Who's gonna do what? No biased opinions either. Like, I want some like shocking expectations. What's up, Abstract?
Well, hold on though. What
For
about
the teams that are
the after effect of? Don't forget the after effect. I call it the Mike Trout effect. Mike Trout. Wow. The
Mike
Mike
Trout.
Trout effect.
Mike
Everybody's
Trout.
getting a damn extension
Mike
now.
Trout.
Since he got signed, every single player who's gonna be a free agent. Seems like they're signing extension after extension after extension.
Oh, yeah.
It's insanity.
People are dedicated to stay on the team. For
Oh,
example,
now let's
Justin
let's
Verlander
let's get
signed
real
a
here
2-year
though.
extension.
Once
Maybe that much
once
I'll be
Mike Trout
dedicated
signed,
to.
yeah, once Mike Trout signed, everybody was like, "Yeah, we're dedicated to you, son. Here you go. Here's your big extension." Jake DeGrom still hasn't got an extension yet, though. So, I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jake
Hey,
DeGrom.
don't be
yeah,
surprised if he extended. Don't be surprised.
oh, I wouldn't. I was just surprised. If I woke up tomorrow, my head's sewn in the carpet. I'd be more surprised than I am right now.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, yeah, there's some new rules that have been added this year too. And I know you sent that to me on Twitter, but I think I might have lost it. But I know the new
God damn it,
rules.
Kyle.
But no. But I remember a little bit of it. But the new rules were like, there's no. It has something to do with the trade deadlines. I know that.
One deadline.
Yeah, one trade deadline. But the I guess the waivers won't be a thing now. Or give us a little bit more insight on that.
No, the waiver wire trade deadline used to be a thing. Like it's always a month after, at the end of August, you get to
Mm-hmm.
trade for someone who is not claimed off of waivers.
Mm-hmm.
And that seemed to be the
That's
biggest
interesting.
moves. Like that's how the Astros got Justin Verlander. Is they waited till August to get him, and they finally made the move at the last second. But now they should have pushed back the date though, because it's just a July 31st non-waiver trade deadline. That's it. Now it's just called the trade deadline. But they should have moved it to like
The
August 15th.
trade
'cause
deadline.
Realistically, people do not know if they're going to be a contender in July 31st. They have to wait easily till mid-August to know, are we a contender or a pretender? So
It's basically
Pretend.
buy or sell. That's all it is. It's like
I
around
think-
the horn.
I
The podcast.
feel the next I feel that within the next few years, they're gonna go, hey guys, can we push the trade deadline over to August 15th, please?
Mhm.
So, step 1 was making one deadline. Step 2, pushing it to the correct date.
Instead of end of July?
Yeah, instead of end of July, make it mid-August, because realistically, that's when
Yeah,
the team
like
really
like
knows if they're in
14th
it
or
not.
15th. Early
Because a prime
predictions on
example-
who makes the MLB playoffs. That's what Abstract wants to know. Early predictions on who makes the MLB playoffs.
Oh, here. Can I go first?
I know what
Sure.
you're gonna say, Shadow. You're gonna go last. I know what you're gonna say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going with
You're
Madman
gonna-
first.
Is he gonna be a homer and say the Giants are gonna make the playoffs?
That's what I was trying to say.
No. I'm gonna be completely unbiased, okay?
Bro, if you said the Giants are making the playoffs, then you're as high as a kite, bro. Just
No,
saying.
I'm gonna be completely honest.
all right, Shadow. All right, I got you.
Spoiler alert, we're not gonna make the playoffs.
Okay.
There you go. I said it.
You want to expand on who you think is actually gonna make the playoffs?
Well, they do accept what, 10 teams? 6 division winners and then
Mhm.
4 into the wild card? Okay. Let me
Yeah.
put my
4
controller down.
All right, so
He put his controller.
super early predictions.
He means business now.
Alright, let me pull up the teams real quick.
All right, actually, I'm gonna give you mine here, so that way I can do my thing as well.
So, and I'm gonna start off with the NL East because that seems to have the most hype.
Oh yeah, definitely. Please do.
I can see both the Braves and the Phillies reaching the playoffs. So that's 2 teams
Mhm.
out of 10.
Uh huh.
From the NL Central, I'm gonna say the Brewers and
Really?
The Brewers.
yes, Mhm.
Ooh, that's a rough prediction.
probably
Ooh.
the Cubs as well.
Mhm.
And then from the NL West, I'm gonna say the Dodgers. It pains me to say that.
Well, I think it's gonna be between them and the Rockies, honestly, because the Rockies
Dodgers and the
actually got
Rockies.
Penguin,
Yeah.
where's the box at?
I can see Arizona too.
I
Arizona
was getting ready to ask,
possibly.
You want to do this second skull?
Well,
so we
actually, you know
get-
what? I don't know. That's gonna be even though like the teams are kind of tight. Though I think Manny. Well, yeah, with Manny Machado going to San Diego, but I don't think that's gonna help their chances
Hold on.
either.
Okay, so that's my prediction from the NL side. Braves, Phillies, Cubs, Brewers, Diamondbacks, or Dodgers. From the AL side, I'm gonna say the Astros. Maybe the A's, I don't know, because they surprised everybody
Mm.
last year.
Remind me what the step is.
They
Penguin?
had that. They had that little surge that they had like
Get up there.
late in the second half.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get up there before you shoot it. Wait, where am I going now?
Look for little X.
So
Should
the
be like
AL
right,
Central,
right above.
Oh, I
you.
got you. I'm right here. Oh, we didn't pass that? Oh, because the skull went away. Okay,
Oh.
I got you.
I get the feeling the AL Central's
Alright,
gonna
go for
be the Indians. I don't think anybody else is gonna be there. I'm
Yeah,
sorry to
because
say it.
I feel I. Yeah, cause I'll get to that here in a little bit, but here's my actual prediction. I have this like on the thing also.
Why?
So
Well, I have to
Yeah.
say one more. I have one more left.
Ooh.
For the AL East, I'm gonna say Boston again.
Boston, probably between Boston and New York. I feel you on that one.
Boston, New York. The Central, hands down, the Indians. I don't see anybody else.
All right, so
That's a bad prediction right there. I'm telling you. That's not.
Alright.
That's not gonna happen.
If you think the Twins are gonna be there, you are out of your
The
goddamn
Indians have
mind.
no bullpen. They don't. Who the hell do they have playing outfield though? They have
Who do the
nobody
Twins
playing
have?
outfield.
Who do the Twins
Who the
have?
Twins have? Look at their
Yeah.
roster, bro. Look at their roster, and you'll find out.
No, get out of here. Anyway,
You
go
don't
ahead,
even
Tom.
know who the Indians outfield is, though. Name one person in the Indians outfield.
It doesn't It doesn't matter. The Indians
Yes, it
overall
does.
are a better
It so
team.
does. It's right here, bud.
Matt, you can get it.
all right, so before this gets a little
Oh,
out of
yeah,
hand,
come on.
I'm gonna put out my prediction as well, starting from the National League. So
Okay. We're on last. zombie,
obviously,
so hold on.
okay. So as Shadow said, the NL East is gonna be probably the most hyped up division. So.
It is.
Yeah, it really is.
I feel honestly, it's gonna come down. It's gonna be a fight to the finish. I think between the Phillies and the Braves. It's gonna be a
It
battle
really will be.
between pitching versus hitting. Whose is gonna prevail? Who's like which team is gonna be more motivated to win the NL East?
The Phillies
But
have the hitting. The Braves have the pitching.
yeah, so it's gonna be a. I think it's gonna come down to like the last few games of the season, in my personal opinion, on who's gonna win the NL East. But if I had to pick personally, it would probably usually I'm a pitching guy over like a hitting guy because basically, you know, I don't know, it's always been that way for a while.
I'm always a hitting person.
Let's see. I wasn't too high on the Dodgers at the moment. Their off-season moves weren't too good. Well, the whole thing was they needed to make room for some more outfielder with Yasiel Puig, I think. With well, yeah, because they moved Puig, they moved Kemp to the Reds, and I think they got AJ Pollock though, which is not too bad because it was one of Arizona.
Bad.
Yeah, one of Arizona.
Pollock?
Yeah, AJ Pollock. Yeah, one of Arizona's
We have
best
Gerardo
players.
Parra.
AJ Pollock, bro.
I know. I'm half asleep. The Dodgers traded away. They try to get players for their success dampers on it. Yeah, abstract. That's what they tried to do, but then it messed up for them at the same time. So yeah, I feel like the Braves will probably win the division just by a hair, but I feel like the Phillies are also going to make the playoffs as a wildcard team for sure. So going back to my point here, yeah. So the Braves are the Braves are going to make it. They're going to win in the NL East, and I feel like the Phillies are going to be like maybe a game and a half right behind them as the season ends. And now, when we're talking about the NL Central, though,
God damn it.
oh, that's going to be a tough one for me, honestly, because you know that was it was a toss-up last year, and I feel like it's going to be no different this year. But
Got him.
I feel honestly, the Cubs. I feel the Cubs are going to take the division.
Phantom. I got the.
I feel like they
Crickets.
want some blood, they want some payback, and I feel like they're going to do something about it.
Did you kill the Phantom
So
earlier?
basically,
I did. I got.
I feel like that division's also going to be right down to the finish
what
as
card
well.
did you get from it?
But not
You
as
know what
bad
I
though
saw?
as the NL
the
East.
The
Not,
plus
not
sign.
as bad as the NL East for
plus
sure.
sign.
So then we have, of course, the NL West. I feel like
Okay,
the
so
Dodgers
it's
might take
the
it one more
diamond with the
time,
plus sign in it?
but I feel the
more than
Rockies
likely.
will. The Rockies will be up there,
let me show-
right on their
let me show
ass.
you
I feel
what
like the whole
happens.
National League is going to be really close, honestly, if you think about it.
Do you know where you got it?
So
The one
yeah, it's
thing
going
I
to
am
be
hoping-
Dodgers,
Spawn.
Rockies, and
Or, no,
possibly
right here,
Padres
right
or
here, I'll show you.
Diamondbacks, depending on who plays well. And as for the American League,
This one.
Red
right.
Sox, that's probably
Oh my
going to
God.
them or the Yankees. I'm not too sure on who's going to
bastard.
win, but I feel the Yankees are going to be out for blood. I feel like they're going to win that division.
What my
Um,
decision, just tell me.
I feel the Twins have a really good chance,
That plus sign.
I don't know
but
about that.
Okay.
I'll look
but
at it in a second.
I feel the Indians. Yeah, that's the AL Central's not really too hyped up. It's always like one team or another team coming out of that division. Because I feel
It's
like
only
that's
one team.
well, I'm just saying like for like the past couple
Wrong.
years is what I'm saying.
Wrong.
Like
Okay,
one
yeah, that's
team
the,
wins the AL
Diamond
Central,
with the
then
plus
next year
sign.
another team wins it, then another
Yeah.
another year another team wins it. I just feel like the Twins will probably have the. I don't know. I could be wrong, but they actually
You're
do.
not. You're
But-
not wrong.
He says I'm not wrong. But honestly,
No,
I
he's
feel
wrong.
like the Twins will probably win that division by at least like 4 games. Because the
Right,
AL
well,
Central is probably like one of the most weakest divisions in major leagues. That's just
It really is.
wow. One of the Rockies have been any good. They were actually in contention for the Dodgers last year. I think abstract.
Yeah, Rockies did pretty good last year, I believe.
Yeah, Trevor Story. Yeah, excuse me, Trevor Story, Nolan Arenado. They got really good hitting. It's just the only problem is that they don't have any pit. Well,
That's a plus sign. That's a diamond plus sign. I have the opposite of it, bro.
well, the only
Go
thing
ahead.
is though they don't have.
Okay.
Well, they kind of have the pitching, but it's just the environment on where they're at. That's the only problem I
So-
have with their. It's a highly elevated stadium, and the balls
See
are
which one you had.
hit out more.
And then what about
because
the
of-
West?
I'll send it in DM.
Yeah, I'll get to that here right now. So yeah, the AL West. I feel like okay. Well, actually, it just started. The Mariners are actually in first place as of currently. They were playing against the Athletics a couple of games to start the regular season, but I feel honestly like it's gonna come down to either the Astros, possibly the Athletics. Mariners might make a shot at it because I know they actually did get a couple of decent people, but
Wrong with you people.
I don't know. I mean the Angels maybe if they like make some moves
speaking
also,
about the
but I
Mariners-
don't I don't see the Rangers going and doing anything either. But
Mm,
I feel
no.
like it's gonna come down to those teams: the Astros, the Mariners,
Speaking
and the
of-
Athletics. In my
Oh,
opinion.
Speaking of the Mariners, did you hear about Ichiro Suzuki?
Oh, Ichiro, yeah, his final game being played in Japan. That was actually a big deal. That was
Are you
actually
watching that game too?
yeah.
Take the zombies so I can get all these
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, so that's going to be a huge thing, though, when Ichiro goes into the Hall of Fame. He'll definitely be in the Mariners Hall of Fame. I know that for sure. When they did Edgar
sure.
Martinez, Ken Griffey Jr. was another one.
Oh, there you are. I see
Oh,
you.
here he is.
They're going to do something for Ichiro. I know that for a fact.
They have to. That
Alright, I
man's
got
a
him.
legend.
Okay, do your thing, man. I got him.
All right,
Yeah, just
so
gotta figure out the order.
how does Harper do in Philly? Ooh, I mean, he's probably going to be his usual self, though. He's going to be the power guy
When I sent
that
you,
hits
I
the
sent
home
you a
runs.
DM.
Yeah, I got
And basically, he's either gonna strike out a lot or he's gonna hit the long ball, and he's always been like that in Washington too. Whatever power
He's gonna be
guys
hitting
have
the long
like,
ball.
well, that's how the home runs, long ball, same shit, different. But anyways, so yeah, so that's the thing with long ball power hitters. They hit a lot of they go for the home run, literally, like pun intended, or they strike out a lot. It's never in the middle. And I'm serious. It's like never ever in the middle. So what do you think, Matt? Harper, what do you think he's gonna do in Philly?
Take all their money, probably.
Yeah.
Well, that too. He's already done that. He's already done that. But how do you see him performing, though? How do you see him performing?
I see him getting 247 with about 40 home runs. That's a hitter's ballpark,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, that's I can definitely see that, like 247, 250-ish, somewhere around there. Maybe
Most of his home runs are gonna be in
260
right field, too.
if at the highest. I would probably say, yeah. Most of them are going to be
Yeah.
at right field. How about Mike Trout, though? What's he going to do? Talk about your boy.
man's a
Usual
beast.
310, 315, probably about 25 to 30 home runs. Crap loads of ribbies around him. He got more ribbies than never mind, I'm not gonna say that. That's too insensitive. Have about 30 steals. You know, the Mike Trout typical season. He's not gonna
Okay,
shock me.
abstract. Are you glad that the Dodgers aren't paying much for him? I am super glad, actually. So that way they can focus on their
You know
farm
what's
club.
really funny about this discussion?
Hmm.
The Dodgers and the Angels are playing right now. It's a 1-1
actually-
tie in the fourth inning.
Yeah, they actually are playing right now. It's
It
I think
doesn't
it's
matter if they're playing. It's a preseason game.
It's a
Okay, The Rock,
preseason.
easy.
It
and
doesn't
no
matter.
playoffs. Ooh, no playoffs for Trout. That's good. I don't know.
All
I mean,
right,
the
get-
AL West,
Get to
the
my
AL West,
predictions. I'm about to lay a smack on your asses, man.
the AL West, I
Come
think is
on.
too stacked. Honestly,
It really is.
I mean, it's
Nah,
possible.
Not really.
It's
No,
possible
it's
for the
not, though.
Angels.
It's
make a
it's
move.
not. The A's are not going to have the same enigma season they had last year. I'm sorry, it's not happening.
No, I think they will.
It's going to be
nobody-
between, like I said,
nobody
between the
will.
Astros and the Mariners, and I put the A's in there
'Cause if
just
it's not the
for.
Giants, it would be the A's for me.
Oh, you got it. Cool. Very cool.
Okay.
Do you want me to get to my?
Yeah. Get
my
to your.
predictions?
Yes, please.
I'm like, are we avoiding me on purpose here?
No,
So
we're not.
unlike me, Matt is going to be biased about this. So
No, hold on.
No. Not necessarily. I mean, you look at the AL West. The AL West. I mean, they literally do not have that much talent.
Oh,
honestly. I'm
you
sorry,
already
but
know,
they're
abstract.
not-
You already
they're
know,
not.
man.
Yeah. I'll just go from American League down, from like the east to central to west. You know, the typical thing. East, I think the division's going to the Yankees. I think the Yankees are going to take the division. They have just too freaking loaded. They had the best
Stan and
offseason.
Judge.
They had the best offseason of anyone. I mean,
Yeah, that's where I mentioned the Yankees
Jesus.
will take the AL East.
they had their bullpen is stacked. Like seriously, look at their bullpen. They got Ottavino from Colorado. They have Betances. They have Chapman.
Crazy.
Look at their pitching staff. There is no way they don't win that division, barring humongous injuries to their team.
Mhm.
I think they take the
miracles can
division.
happen.
I think they take the division. The Red Sox obviously will be a landslide in the wild card. Landslide in the wild
Hell
card.
yeah.
Let me get to the other divisions too before I get to the second wild card. In the Central, I do not believe in the Indians. They will probably be a second place. I think the Twins just have way too much amazing young talent coming up.
Get outta
Barrios is just so good. Buxton's having an incredible spring. If you look at their additions they had in the offseason, it will absolutely help their team out. They're absolutely going to make it to the playoffs. They're going to win the division. The Indians are going to miss the postseason, in my opinion. The Indians lost too
I
much.
doubt it.
They lost Brantley. They lost Cody Allen. They lost Andrew Miller. They lost their entire lights-out bullpen. All they have is Kluber and Carrasco. That's literally all they have.
Almost like you
So
said
I
all they
can
had
still
was
carry
Kluber.
them.
That's funny, dude. No, but seriously though, that's literally all they have to go on. That's all they have to go on. Their outfield, nobody can name a single outfielder to save their life. So, and I think the Twins are actually going to shock a lot of people and take the division. They're going to take the division.
That's where I mentioned. Yeah, their actual spring training has been amazing too.
Yeah. Byron Buxton, I mean, it is spring. People have had amazing springs and then absolutely trashed in the regular season. But I think Buxton's going to finally turn it around this year. More the AL West, I mean, it's pretty obvious. The Astros are an absolute favorite to win the AL West. Nobody's going to discount that. Especially after extending Verlander.
Like I said, I feel like the closest team
Yeah.
that'll get to them is probably the Mariners, but I don't see anybody else like trying to make a run at them.
I don't see the Mariners really doing much. I really don't. I mean,
I
if
see the
anything,
A's more so than Mariners.
here's my ranking here, and say it's biased or not, but I looked at every single roster, and this is what I've seen. Now, this is always barring injuries. This could change immediately because you know how.
Oh yeah, it always
you know how
changes.
the
It can
Angels-
definitely
the Angels
change.
can't seem to stay healthy to save their life.
No,
But-
they can't.
Dallas Keuchel is still there, so
Mhm.
I see them being way too risky with it and taking a stab at him if they do not have all the rotation come maybe mid-March or mid-April, I should say. Mid-April, they will probably get Keuchel if something happens to their rotation. But I think Houston's going to take the
That
West.
always happens to the rotation.
Houston's going to take the West. I am going to between the wild cards of the division. The wild cards, it's going to be either Tampa or Anaheim. Tampa or the Angels, easily. Tampa being the heavy favorite to do that, considering they got Blake Snell, who got extended as well. I mean,
Oh,
they
Blake
just
Snell's
look.
pretty good.
Mm-hmm. So Tampa could be a team that gets into the postseason, but if they
Yeah, I
don't,
can see Tampa.
if they don't do it, no question the Angels have that. You should look at their offense, guys. Look at the offense of the Angels. When they're all clicking, Pujols is disincluded because he's old, but when Trout's going like he does, if Upton goes like he goes, if Simmons has a year like he had 2 years ago, oh my God, dude, their offense will carry them to a wild card. So that's just me. So for my rundown of the American League, it's going to be Yankees in Boston, Angels, Houston, Minnesota winning the division, not Cleveland. All right, so that's that.
I can
That's
see
my prediction for
Minnesota in
that.
the wild card, not in
Tampa is disappointing for you. Wait, how's it disappointing, Abstract? But I can kind of see what you're saying though. Like they always have those years where they do good one year, shitty the next. The next year after that, good, shitty, etc. Yeah, I can see what you're saying though. I know there were like a
but I
couple
think,
teams that are like that. The Braves. Well, not the Braves though. The Braves actually have a.
Here's the fun one. I'm gonna save the AL East for last because that's like the oh my God.
Oh, are you
division
talking about
right
the
there.
NL East?
Yes.
You already talked
So,
about. You already talked. You said
for
the
the
AL East.
Central,
But,
the Central, I'm gonna throw it out there. I do not believe in the Brewers. They're probably gonna be a third or fourth place team this year with what they've lost.
I doubt it.
Even with Craig Kimbrell, if they sign him, nothing. They don't have a chance. Yes, buddy. Oh Jesus.
there he goes.
Come here, Alex.
Alex,
Let's see.
the real MVP.
One of my predictions. Did you shit your pants or something like that? Is that what you did? Hey, Penguin, can you real quickly take the zombie off me? I think he crapped himself. He's been having.
And there it is, boys.
in chat.
Alex crapped himself on the podcast.
Okay, go to the bathroom. I'll meet you in there, buddy. I promise. Be slow, okay?
Where are you?
I'm in the
There it
middle
is,
room.
chat.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so for the Central, since Alex is rushing my prediction now because I literally I think he sharded himself or something like that.
Yeah, you're taking way too long.
Hey, I know how to analyze better. You're just going off gut feeling, brah. Come on now. So for
Gut
the
feeling sometimes works.
The
Don't even
Central,
doubt
the
it.
Central will. I feel like the Central is going to be. Oh God, between the Cardinals and the Cubs, in my opinion. Between Chicago and St. Louis.
If Nick was alive today, oh my God, don't even get started with the
I would
Cardinals and the
say-
Cubs. He was a huge
I'm gonna
Cardinals fan,
say-
very huge Cardinals fan. Nick, I love you, man. God bless you. Hope you're watching
I'm gonna
from
say
the
the Cardinals.
clouds of Bud.
How
I'm gonna
happy
put it out
was he
there.
when they won
Cardinals.
in the 2011
Oh,
season?
yeah, I was there. I was at his place when this team won the World Series. He was super
And
enthralled.
to think to think they were down to their last strike.
I'm gonna
Right.
say the Cardinals by a slim margin are gonna beat out the Cubs in the division. I think
Yeah.
they're gonna beat them out by a little bit. Goldschmidt's just a really, 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 really good addition for them, and they're just
Yeah,
a
the
model
fact
of
that they got
consistency
Goldschmidt is
all
fucking
the
crazy.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How do you get a
Makes sense, him
franchise
too.
player like that? How do you...
All right, and so the West. I mean, the West. That's gonna be like a 2-second drill. The Dodgers win the division.
Dodgers easily?
Rockies,
Yeah,
Rockies
Dodgers
right
the
on their tail.
Rockies. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said that
Dodgers
earlier.
there.
The one-
I mean, so
I know
for
the Giants won't
East-
make it, but I'm
Yeah.
hoping they'll have a winning record at least.
For the National League East, I'm going to say the division is going to go to the Washington Nationals. They've just
Why?
they've had just an incredible offseason withholding without Bryce Harper. Look at the rotation: Max Scherzer, Steven Strasburg, Patrick Corbin. And then the additions they had in the bullpen, and of course they're going to extend Rendon. It's going to happen. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I
He
feel
was fast.
honestly, yeah, and I forgot to
Yeah.
mention that too. I feel like, the Nationals pitching will actually give the Phillies, a hard time also.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
thinking
mean,
about it, yeah.
let's not discredit the Phillies though. They have
Oh,
a
well,
pretty
not
good
discrediting
rotation.
them. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
they're
yeah.
they're decent.
They've got a decent rotation. I mean, if Arrieta comes back to form, then they're easily going to challenge them. But I mean, if you look at their you got Zimmerman, Dozier was a nice pickup for them, and they have Kendrick as his backup. So I mean, they've got a deep lineup. A lot of people are saying Soto's going to be really good. They're not going to miss Bryce Harper. They might miss him a little bit. But their rotation, dude, is just insane. Sanchez, they got Joe Ross as their fifth starter. Anibal Sanchez is their fourth starter.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
But I think the Washington Nationals are going to take the division in a very tight race, in my opinion, between them and the Braves, the Mets, and the Phillies easily. I just don't think I think the Mets are going to get hurt again. I mean, even with that rotation they have and the closer they got, I don't think they're going to get the division at least.
Yeah,
Should we
wild
even talk
card?
about the Marlins?
No, they're irrelevant. Hey, they made a trade for Real Muto to get him out of their town. I think
like the new logo,
oh,
though.
God. I believe, yeah, it's pretty sick. I like it. I believe the wild cards are going to come down to 3 teams. It's coming down to the Rockies, the Phillies,
NL?
and the Mets. Yes, Rockies, Phillies, Mets. Mets are probably going to be on the outskirts just because I don't think they have that. They don't have that deep of a bullpen to survive.
I'm surprised
Honestly.
the Braves aren't on there on your predictions.
No.
Will the
I
Mets
don't
ever
think-
get
even
it
with them-
together?
even-
Probably not, Abstract. Probably
Even
not.
with Acuna and the
anytime
Braves
soon.
could shock us again, but they don't have a rotation. I don't think it's gonna be a sophomore slump for a lot of those young guys.
Oh,
Acuna
yeah.
is gonna be a beast as usual.
Mhm.
But the wild cards,
Oh.
if I had to put out between the 3 of those, I think Colorado probably can get it back in the wild card again.
What about the
and-
AL?
Well,
I
he
already
just
said that.
he already mentioned the AL. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what was it again?
You said Boston and I believe who was it between Oakland?
Between Tampa and Anaheim.
No. Oh yeah, Tampa and Anaheim. Okay.
And then for the NL, I'm going to throw out there and just going to say that obviously the Rockies will be one of them, and I think Philadelphia will get the second wild card. They made too many good additions in the offseason with Harper and
They did.
and of course Real Muto, just sweeping the rug out of everybody and getting Real Muto before they got Harper.
Oh yeah.
So I think they'll be good. So Phillies and Rockies the wild card, and obviously you already had the division winners: Washington, St. Louis, LA. So I don't know if we're going as far as saying who's going to win it all. I'm not going to go that far yet, but I mean, if we want to do that, we can. But
Well, Abstract said the super early prediction, so that's what we got to do. And we listen to our audience, we listen to our fans and the viewers to the show, and we just talk about it on the air. That's what we do. So moving on here.
Yep.
So going to some NFL stuff. Rob Gronkowski said this was kind of, talked about a while back, but he announced his retirement through an Instagram post on the NFL. So yeah, he announced this on Instagram through the NFL, which out of all things. So yeah, that's kind of big news, honestly. He's like one of the best tight ends in the NFL, and everybody's been making the joke saying, like, oh, he's gonna go to WWE to live his dream. So and Matt Man, I don't know if he's probably doing something with his kid about
I'm
changing his
doing
diaper,
that
but
so hard.
if that even Brother Goofy was talking about that too. If that actually becomes a thing, like I wouldn't be surprised, but it'll be funny at the same time. Like, you know, if he became like an actual WWE superstar. We'll talk about WWE here in a little bit, but
What would he call his finisher? The Kowski smash?
no, the Gronk
The
smash.
donkey.
The Gronky donkey. There it is, chat, right there.
There it is.
But yeah, but this is really big news though. He only played 9 seasons, has 3 Super Bowl wins. And
That's good.
he might be considered, you know, one of the best overall tight ends in the NFL, next to, like, you know, people like Antonio Gates and Dallas Clark and all those other people, which, you know, I haven't heard Dallas Clark's name in a long time, but at the same time, you know, he's gonna be up there with the greats, so that goes to show you, you know,
He's in the top 10.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing though. His personality is a little bit meh, but he's really good on the field though. Hands down, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
There is one thing I did want to talk about in this NFL section, but I don't know if we should talk about it now.
No, just
you want
shoot
to?
it. Shoot it.
The fact that the Browns got Odell.
Oh, yeah, we were going to talk about that, you know, a couple weeks back, too, before we had that show, but we didn't really mess around with it because I obviously had some things we had to do also. Odell
I can smell
Beckham
the playoffs
Jr.,
and-
along with him and, Baker Mayfield, quarterback, very good for Cleveland. He had a nice rookie season. He's going to make it better. Yeah, Odell Beckham,
I can see them actually doing
OBJ.
something good next season.
They'll have a winning record. I feel like this is going to be the year. I feel like this is going to be the year.
playoffs.
I don't know, but a winning record definitely for Cleveland.
I would say wild card at most right now.
Wild card, definitely wild card. I don't think they'll win the division, but they'll definitely have a wild card spot. I know that for a fact.
What kind of prediction record would they have? I want to say 10-6.
I'd say 9-7. 9-7 for
9-7?
sure. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna be, you know,
9-7.
8-8. Yeah,
Something like
8-8 to like 9-7. They'll be like the first year they will have a non-losing season in God knows how long. Like, I would say like a decade, honestly. With all the spurts that they had to go through quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback. Absolutely insane. But honestly, but yeah, like I said, 8-8, 9-7, I can in a wild card. That's how I see them trying to get in, for sure. Definitely for sure. And I don't know if Matt just got back from.
Yep.
Yeah, he's back.
Oh, okay, but
he didn't go crap himself. He actually just peed his pants by accident. He felt bad.
Oh, okay. Okay. But anyways, so how do you see the Browns, you know, I feel so wrong for saying that as we're talking about Alex.
I was about to say.
That's such a great segue, by the way.
Yeah, great segue.
How do you
okay,
feel about the Browns?
okay, how do you see Cleveland performing next year?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You.
You're asking
Yeah.
me my opinion on the Browns?
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Crap. That's all I got.
Wrong
That's all my
Browns.
analysis for the Browns.
Nothing else, just that's it.
I've got nothing
Do they
else.
make
No
the
faith in
do
Cleveland.
they make the playoffs with the additions that they got?
Not until I turn an old 70 years old. That's my prediction. No, thank you.
Okay, so basically a no then. Do they take the
No, it's not.
NFC North? I don't
not.
think so,
No, for me.
honestly.
I see wild card.
Yeah, I feel like the Steelers will. The Steelers
Steelers
maybe.
are too good.
Okay, so yeah, the Bengals. Yeah, I feel like they'll be like the weaker division. Obviously, I know the Bengals. They're not really that spectacular. Baltimore. I know they got rid of Flacco. I know they've been kind of like down in the dumps a little
they
bit
traded
too.
him to,
Denver, I think. And then yeah,
Alright, Matt,
because
you ready?
it's gonna be the Browns and the Steelers. Steelers are gonna win that division. You have a lot to say. All right, Abstract.
Gordon,
I'm
yeah.
ready, man. My man is ready to talk about the AFC North, but anyways,
Eat my shorts. No, I'm kidding.
eat them good, Baylor. All right, but anyway, so yeah, Odell Beckham Jr. will be
You
a
can
big
go the other way,
addition
the
though, for
shortcut.
sure.
You don't have to go this way.
Definitely for sure. But yeah, speaking of
You have to go the way his head
other
goes.
signings,
It's
I want
opened
to
every
talk
door.
about like other signings as well. But
Clay
before,
Matthews?
yeah, Clay Matthews to the Rams for a 2-year deal. That'll probably like bolster up the Rams linebacker issues, especially on the outside
Neil,
too,
I
where they
hate
were
your
definitely Definitely,
No, I
they
know where to
definitely
go.
get beat on the outside. I know that, but with Clay Matthews, though, I'm not really, as a Rams fan, I'm not really expecting him to be like, the big star caliber player. But I mean, like he was a few years ago. But I want him to be like, a
he's taking us on the
motivator
wrong path.
and be that same person and have that
Yeah.
mental attitude that helps out the other players on the Rams defense. Which, and
Yeah.
plus they got Eric Weddle too on top of that for the safety side. And that was a pretty big move also, just to get Eric Weddle, get him for a couple years to help, on the safety side as well. And honestly, I feel like if the Rams defense were to, a juggernaut on paper as it is, they're like a super mega juggernaut. I mean, their defense is going to be absolutely insane.
Super mega juggernaut.
Super, absolutely insane this year. And plus, and it showed how our defense was good in the Super Bowl, but then at the same time, our offense was nowhere to be found. But that's another story to talk about. You'll be a good vocal leader for the Rams. Oh, you already know, Abstract. You already know, man. Like,
Where is the damn
Clay
box?
Matthews will be the vocal guy that
Gotta
motivates
find it.
everybody.
Give me a second.
And I feel like he'll motivate, Jared Goff offensively in a way, and him and McVay and all those other people. And honestly, I feel like well, that's the thing though. I don't really think we would need anybody else except for maybe an offensive tackle, offensive line somewhere around
Some
there in the
theater.
draft. But either way, I feel like honestly, it's going to be a it's a very good addition. I feel like the Rams have made some good additions, especially with Blake Bortles from Jacksonville. They got him as a backup
Who
for a
did?
year. The Rams did. They got Blake Bortles. He's backing up Jared Goff, which is not a bad move though. Personally, they actually do have a backup for Goff,
Did
so
the
that
Jaguars
way
pick up somebody too?
they picked up Nick Foles from Philadelphia,
true.
so that's why they parted ways with Bortles, and now Bortles is the backup for the
It's not in the theater.
for the Rams. But
It is.
honestly, I feel like the Rams made some good moves, signing wise.
Outside.
Shadow, what do you think, man,
About what?
about the
gotcha.
Rams signing moves?
I mean, I don't really
Yeah,
care
whenever
for
I
the
say
Rams,
theater, I just
but,
mean this area.
He's like, I
okay,
don't care,
I'm
man.
sorry.
That's the bias coming out of you, my dude. But then again, it was kind of bias coming out of me. But then at the same time, it's just like, I'll talk about it just because it was some.
Didn't the 49ers sign somebody?
I maybe let me see. I don't know. I mean, They might.
have? I don't even remember.
I don't know. Yeah, free agency. Let me go to free agency. So okay,
Well, the
so we're gonna
addition
talk
is-
about the best fits though. The high-profile free agents that are still on the market though, and I know the Jets picked up Randall Cobb. I do remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. I saw
All
that.
right.
All right, be careful. We don't want to kill less
So yeah,
zombies.
Justin Houston's like another one. Ndamukong Suh, defensive tackle, Seattle.
What?
Oh.
Sue went to Seattle and didn't stay with the Rams?
They said that he was one of the
He was
teams.
talking about
The Seahawks were in the mix to try to pick him up. So they
Yeah,
definitely
he
need
was
like
talking about he
a.
wanted to leave the Rams.
Oh, and Eric
Sounds
Berry.
alive, but-
Eric Berry, I think. Well, here's the other thing. Eric Berry, obviously, cancer survivor. He got released by the Chiefs. The Cowboys, I think, are actually in the run for him. Honestly, I've been looking at it. It's like the most likely. Obviously, I feel like it could be. It would make sense for him to go to, obviously, to Dallas, but I feel like Cleveland's trying to go after him to bolster their their team as well. That's how I would feel about that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they will too.
Yeah, so Cowboys, Browns, obviously. Okay, and then Jared Cook, obviously, is going to be on the market for the Patriots side because the Gronkowski, he's retired. So that way he's not going it. He's not going to play another game for the Patriots. He's gone. And that's really all there is, though, right now on the free agent-wise. Nothing's really made. Dallas picked up Randall Cobb. Or did he? Or I might have read that wrong. Hang on. Let me...
Why would Sue leave the Rams,
here.
though? I mean, seriously, you guys went to a Super Bowl, and then he's like,
Yeah.
he's not content with that? I'm like, really, dude? You have one of the two best... You have the two tandems that are just amazing on defense with Sue
Yeah,
and
it's-
Donald.
Could be other
Leave that?
reasons.
Oh, yeah, and Dante Fowler also on the outside part of the...
I don't understand that. Players are so stupid, I swear.
Let's see if I can get
I would not
candles.
leave that kind of a situation where we're like we're Super Bowl contenders every year, and then
Oh yeah, okay. So it was the Cowboys that signed it. Okay, I thought I read that wrong. Okay, so the Jets adding Trevor Simeon. Okay, that's who it was. That's who it was. Okay, yeah, I read that wrong. I read that wrong. All right. Yeah,
I
because
thought
there's
the
a.
49ers signed somebody.
I don't really see San Francisco making like the big move, honestly. I can't really see them doing that.
Good one.
Well, I think Sue's a free agent as of right now, but Seattle is like the top target. Like he's trying to go to, or Seattle has him on the radar.
Trying to get candles.
That's how I would see it, honestly.
Me too.
Oh, give me candles.
Yeah, but I don't understand why he would actually leave LA, because the team did go to a Super Bowl. And obviously, yeah, and like what Matt said, like players are just absolutely stupid nowadays. It's like they want to get like it's all about the money. All about the money. Abstract has a
Jared
bold
Goff's,
prediction.
Uh-oh.
Abstract has a bold prediction. Can't wait to see that. And I was talking about retirements earlier. Jeremy Maclin, ex-Eagles wide receiver, is also retiring after 10 years. So he's going to be done from the NFL for good. And yeah, that's actually, yeah, because he announced the news at his wife's baby shower. So he's going to be leaving the NFL to take care of his kid, his future upcoming
Oh,
kid.
really?
Yeah, so that does
Smart
make
move,
sense.
Can't really blame
Smart
him.
move.
Mm-hmm.
Happy wife, happy life.
49ers win the division. They're the sleeper this year. If
my
Garoppolo,
goodness.
I can
No.
see them. Here's the thing.
No.
Maybe a wild card spot, possibly if Garoppolo stays healthy, unlike a situation he had, last year, where he went out for the year. I don't remember what it was exactly. He was out for the year for.
It was like undefeated.
Jimmy, he was basically the savior for your guys' team, and it just, went absolutely went to shit that
life,
night.
though.
Yeah, he wasn't undefeated in life, but for the
Life took him
49ers,
by the ball and slapped his knee.
Unless it's the board game.
yeah, life, just like the board
Okay,
game in life.
I know,
But
I know you suck at that game.
if
but calm down.
if Garoppolo stays healthy,
No, that's the only time I'm good at life.
if Garoppolo stays healthy, I could definitely see like an 8-8, 9-7, just like Cleveland.
I see it 11-5.
Garoppolo, I don't know about that. I don't know about 11-5. That's kind of stretching it. That's stretching it. If they
Over here in the
actually
main room.
if they actually do
Yes,
pick
I
up
did.
a couple of decent guys to help, help out Garoppolo's
Let me go,
aerosol, then maybe just
Pack 'em like
maybe
Steve's.
10-6.
And then I'll be
But right now, I see
And I'll give
8,
you all
8 or
my
9-7, just because Garoppolo is like the only heart and soul of your guys' team, and not just the offense, your entire team. But I feel like the division's gonna go to the Rams again. Like I said, their offense is too good, and defense absolute
As long as your
juggernaut.
quarterback isn't a lost child, we should be.
No,
you guys should be good.
he won't be. He won't be. It's gonna be the regular season. He won't be. He's got too many good players around him. So especially offensively, with Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, the tight end. He's also a really good tight end as
Where's the
well.
point share on this map? I forgot.
And
Oh,
yeah,
this
that's
is the theater,
that's
never mind.
basically how I see it personally from coming out of that, the NFL.
Never mind.
And want to move on here real quick because I feel like that's all we have for the NFL. There's not really much to talk about for the NFL.
Yeah, not yet. Anyway.
Yeah.
Not until like the NFL draft coming around next month. And I want to talk about a little bit about the NCAA tournament going around. And I know most of you guys are like, "Oh, I'm not really into the Selection Sunday whole bracket thing." But I was watching a couple of
shoot, I got a
games
pool going on at work.
earlier today. And yeah, they're into the second round. There's a couple teams trying to go to the Sweet 16 also. There's a couple of teams that did make it. Michigan State, LSU obviously made it to the Sweet 16. Florida State made it to the Sweet 16. Gonzaga, that was kind of a given. Michigan. And we have Kentucky, Auburn and Purdue also making it to the Sweet 16. So there's some games that are going on right now. I want to try to get this up for you guys. Duke actually, see, that was going to be my next thing I was going to talk about. Duke
Matt,
almost
come over to the,
lost
theater.
in the second
Just put
round
all my points
to
in
the
there for you.
University of Central Florida, and I feel like they have a guy that's like 7'6" on a University of Central Florida, but I forgot his name. But Duke barely survived that. Like down to the last few seconds. They won by 1 point against them, and that's how they got into the Sweet 16
There was
also.
actually, I was going to say,
Zion was
there's
good.
actually, even the first round, there were several games that were close by 1 or 2 points. It was a pretty good round.
Yeah, that's the thing with college basketball too. Like, I mean, I was going to do a bracket this year, but then I was thinking to myself, there's too many teams that could upset, like lower seeded teams that could upset like higher seeded teams. And it was like
Minnesota?
it was like a huge thing, like even before the bracket was even talked about. There's something wrong with Gurley, though. You can feel it. Yeah, I mean, well, going back, yeah, well, NFL-wise, yeah, he's been having, like, some issues as of lately, but they actually have him, backed up by, C.J. Anderson. I can't even talk. C.J. Anderson, I said. Yeah, when he came around, when Gurley had that, issue, I guess, with, like, I think it was, like, his knee or something, or his ankle. He absolutely he sparked a fire in the Rams offense, which is absolutely insane. But going back to it, though, I want to get to some scores here real quick. The one that got me, though, was Tennessee and Iowa going into overtime, and that was another team, Tennessee, going to the Sweet 16 too. And they never really trailed that game either. It was just either Iowa was tied or they couldn't get it moving. Yeah, so that went to OT. Tennessee beat them 83-77. North Carolina also made it to the Sweet 16, blowing out the Huskies, sadly. That's one of Mama Pug's favorite teams, Washington Huskies, college-wise.
Carolina!
North Carolina, yeah, they're going to the Sweet 16. I mentioned before, Duke also going Sweet 16. They won by 1. Texas Tech also going to the Sweet 16. They won by 20 against Buffalo. And then you have Virginia Tech beating Liberty 67-58. By 9 points, and I think as of right now, I feel like there's some other games going on, but I'm not too sure exactly. Oh yeah, this is live over here, and Virginia's gonna beat Oklahoma, so that's gonna be another thing that's live as of currently. Ohio State's playing against Houston, and the Houston's up, I believe 39-31, and that's. Actually, wait, hold on. This thing needs to update. Or is it? As it says end of the second. It says end of the second, but it should be like a first half thing. That's weird. But Oregon's beating UC Irvine. I think that's what it said. I don't know. I'm looking at the NCAA.com news channel or website rather. And yeah, some of these things are absolutely. I want to go to like ESPN for it. Maybe that'll have something. I feel like that'll have something, honestly. Let me check here. If this doesn't work, then I probably will go to, Okay, yeah. Yeah, this thing's acting weird. I'm going to go to, Give me a second, guys. I'm going to go to the NCAA bracket real quick.
Hey, man, I think the zombie went after you because I don't have it after me anymore.
Alright, so... Let's see what we got here. Oh, page not found. Okay, yeah, that's obviously... It should refresh here momentarily, but... Yeah, not really a lot of upsets, though. Not really a lot of stuff that happened. Even, barring the first round, obviously. But... Either way, that's the situation where it stands right now. And I feel like the next time when we talk about this on the show, we're going to talk about, the Elite 8 teams, the possible Final Four, all that good stuff. So, let me go to, okay, check bracket. I know I didn't make a bracket, but I will...
Come here, zombie.
Okay, oh wait, this is the women's bracket, I think. Okay, no, but, like I said, we'll go to that later on. But, I feel, honestly, I think we should get into some video game talk here. Because we're past the first hour, and I want to get to the, second hour here. So
Good game
we got
that y'all don't have, but I've been playing is Spider-Man. That's actually a very good game. Great graphics.
What are some games you guys have been playing right now?
Game known as VO4.
Oh, that's an old toxic game called Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Yes.
And obviously Penguin and Matman are playing Infinite Warfare, and the zombies wise. And speaking of zombies, I don't know if Matman's gonna be here for this. I don't know if he's still here, but he's just concentrating, or he's probably doing something. I don't know what he's doing, but
I think he's trying to find the history wheel.
oh, okay. But anyways, speaking of zombies, DLC 2 for Ancient Evil comes out on Tuesday. How hyped are you guys?
It's a spawn mat.
How hyped are the boys right now?
I'm actually pretty hyped. It looked.
It looks
Literally-
nice. I like it.
I've never really used this term, but it looked like a pretty dope map that they've made up for it.
Yeah,
I
because
really
especially
like-
it takes place, somewhere in ancient Greece. It's like down below somewhere.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of good theories on what the possible Easter egg would actually become, and basically, yeah. And I saw the group DMs too. So I'm gonna, if you guys don't mind, I want to take something, And Matman was especially, like doing some research on this too.
Come back here, zombie.
Matman, I think. Here, let me see. I think I gotta go up here in a little bit in the group chats. So, we definitely did some breakdowns on the trailer. Temple of Apollo. That's obviously there for for show. It's not
It's
just
like they threw several of the Greek gods into it as one big mesh instead of sticking to like Apollo and because it's like you have Medusa, you have Apollo, you have part of it that belongs to Poseidon, and part of it. I was like, dear God, how many of them did you throw into this thing?
Yeah, I'm surprised. There's not a lot of people that are. I mean, like, not a lot of people are actually looking into it, but I know a lot of zombies people are looking into that. But Abstract, so I'm not in group chats. I'm sorry, man.
Well,
I just realized my microphone was muted. I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Let me talk.
Yeah, so your mic was
listening,
muted the
we
whole
can't
time.
hear you.
We
Yeah, exactly.
cannot hear you. But anyways, how
Yeah,
hyped
I'll
are
wait
you,
till you
Matt?
guys cover it when it comes out.
As
Yeah.
always, I'm always extremely hyped for naps. I don't give a rat's ass how the zombie community and how the
Well, see,
And
that's
and we were
uh,
talking about it. You did a lot of research for it too.
yeah,
naturally.
Matt and I both
You did a
actually.
shit ton, not just research. You did a shit ton for it.
Well, if you think about it, also there's a little connection that it seems like Reddit's been on point where a lot of the themes of the maps have to do with of an ancient god, like
Elements?
the perk machines,
Mhm.
like for Ra, for 9, there's Ra. This one's Zeus, the Zeus one. So there's Ra. There's oh my god,
Mhm.
a sniper rifle and a frickin' I got the clown.
We'll
of
get you in
Justice.
group chats, Abstract. Don't worry.
But getting past that, yeah, the Delphi, Greece. If you look historically, the city itself was not buried deep underground, so I don't know why they're going that route.
It kind of reminds
only
you
the
of the lost city of Atlantis, except it's underground, and not underwater.
Well, basically, this thing is no question has Garad Krovi and buried theme to it, where it's like
Oh,
those
yeah.
combined. Where you,
It's like if they had a
That's what
kid,
they're
this would be
going
the
for.
map.
But the intro cutscene, like I mentioned to in the DMs, that before they even confirmed that with the trailer, I was saying the intro cutscene to 9, where they were sitting there inhaling some of the fumes that give them delusions. That's historically in Greek mythology, not historically, but Greek mythology. That's correct of how there were certain priestesses that were volunteered to be the oracle, and they had to do a certain ritual before they went down to the Temple of Apollo. And they would go into an absolute, they called it a trance of Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
It was more like they were seeing hallucinations, so they were the oracle. So then the trailer that they released, you see the oracle of Apollo right there. Apparently, instead of being free, she's trapped. But I don't trust her. And based off the trailer, I don't trust her. I think she's using us. Like she's using us for her own bidding.
You know what? I felt the same
Or
exact
another
way.
side note that it could
It's
end
like
up-
the Shadow
it could
Man.
end up being is, well, another side that you can take on that is she was captured by the Order or whatever they're called,
Yeah.
and
The
they were
Chaos,
using her But if we free her, she's going to go along the path of all humanity is just like the Order, and that's going to end up probably being the final boss, is us taking down the Oracle.
I am still on the theory, and I'm not going to say it out loud, our theory that we had of who the boss is going to be. I feel like it's her. The one the Penguin you saw in the trailer. I think it's her for sure, because if you think about it, you
Medusa?
caught that. Yeah, you caught her. Damn it, you spoiled it! Damn it, Penguin! Sorry.
Damn it, Becky!
Becky! But if you see it in the trailer, there's a specific spot where you see the... what is the old guy's name? One of our characters? I can't remember his name right now.
Oh, Shaw?
Shaw? Yeah, Shaw.
Yeah, you see Shaw in there. One of those cutscenes, you see Shaw is jumping, and he's running through a bunch of zombies, shooting them. Souls are going out of them, much like we did in the in Blood, where you see their souls ascending up to the sky. I wonder if you have to feed the souls to Medusa, and Medusa is key, because if you look also at the Pack-a-Punch area where they had the those statues with one of them's beheaded, and it's like a theater. That theater is actually factually correct. But yeah, my wife just texted me to come over to her real quickly. Penguin, go ahead and expand on that while I'll be right back.
Well, here's another thing I wanted to add, though, too. Do you think... he was speaking of the Medusa head. Do you think that will be one of the wonder weapons that we had to collect the bits and pieces for to pick up?
It's possible, because I know one is the Fist of Gaia, which sounds just kinky instead of a wonder weapon. But
sounds kind of fruity.
Which
Very
actually
fruity.
they even revealed the wonder weapon in the trailer. And it looked kind of interesting, but at the same token, I do think that the Medusa head, if not a wonder weapon for regular use in the map, could be a side wonder weapon that can help you out in the main boss fight, like if you're fighting a Kraken or something. Which I'm not saying a Kraken's going to be in there because you're not really near the ocean, but but it's like I was saying earlier, it's like they kind of threw several of the mythologies from Greek into one map versus sticking to, like, say, Apollo and maybe Poseidon about the island. And they threw several of them in there. So I do think that if you're not going to use the head as a wonder weapon, it could be like in 9 where you had to go collect the head and get a key out of it.
Okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
The head is kind of like a key where you had to place it back on the statue to maybe unlock Pack-a-Punch or something. That's a good possibility.
And we were looking at the Pegasus, too. Like, the Pegasus coming down, like, right near the end of the trailer. Like, I was thinking, like, that might be a possibility of the Pegasus. We were talking about the boss fight earlier, that the Pegasus could either take us to the boss fight, or the Pegasus could be, you know, at different areas of the map, and it could lead us to Pack-a-Punch. Like, that was another thing we were discussing as well.
Yeah, the Pegasus, I think, is going to end up being like the dragon on Gorod Krovi, where it takes you to the Pack-a-Punch area.
Oh, yeah, you already know. I feel like that's going to be the same thing. I've been thinking exactly like that, too.
Because, like, Matt and I said where we played Infinite Warfare Zombies a little bit and everything, and we were just talking about it, even in the group chat. Gorod Krovi, even though it's a different era, like the Chaos storyline, if you really look at the map overall, Gorod Krovi is a heavy influence on how the map was set up.
Oh, yeah. I feel like they did a really good job with the map, though. I mean, on like from the trailer point-wise, I feel like they really did an amazing job.
Yep. And I'm with Matt, too. The new perk, you can definitely see, like, Lee Ross's hand in that, because it looks like the Explosive Touch for Treyarch.
Oh, yeah. I feel like that perk, though, is going to cost, like, you know, a crap ton of, you know, points just to buy. I know that.
Alright, sorry.
That's right. We were just saying how the new perk, like we were saying off stream, is got Lee Ross's hand, where it's kind of like a new Explosive Touch for Treyarch.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's gonna come in clutch along with that 50% melee damage perk that was a new one that came out.
Yeah, the Ethereal or something.
Yes. Yeah, the temple was. I mean, the temple was not necessarily. Oh, did you turn the laser trap on? Damn. The temple was not really buried underground. It was more so that the. Well, actually, let's think of it this way: the actual palace was not underground; it was above ground, and so they're kind of tweaking it a little bit. But I like where they're going with this, where they're actually utilizing the gods. They've been teasing the gods with the the perk machines all this time, and now they're utilizing the mythology of it to really help towards the zombies maps. And if you look at part of that cutscene too, our Catalyst, the alchemy guy with the mask on, he looks like he's dead. Like his mask is off and he's mask is off and he's down for the count.
Yeah, it looks like the character from 9.
Yeah.
With the mask, and yeah, his mask is off, he's out and dead. That's what I was just about to say, too. Like, but, maybe his mask might be... I was thinking his mask might hold some secrets, in a way, if you think about it. Like, we might have to do something with the mask.
Damn.
There's just so many possibilities and strategies I'm thinking in my head right now.
There are two things. It looks like they're based off the trailer. There might be Oracle vision at some point for the Easter egg step, where you maybe you can see what the Greek symbols mean
in English.
In English. And it kind of gives you a step to the Easter egg, and kind of like a riddle you have to figure out. And also on top of that, got a little Grod Krovi feel to it because of the fact that you can ride Pegasus. Much like Grod Krovi, you can have the dragon destroy certain zombies or destroy everyone around you. Pegasus you can take a ride there, and you probably have a point where Pegasus can come over and just wipe out an entire horde that's all over you.
Well, it showed that in the trailer too, where the lightning just wiped out an entire brood of zombies.
Yeah, definitely utilize Pegasus if you're going for high rounds on that, but. Yeah, the hunt's gonna be on, bros. I think they're also gonna have a live stream, I believe an hour before it releases. I think
that's what they said. Yeah.
They said 11 p.m. on Monday, so I wonder if that's Pacific Standard Time. Because if that's the case, then it would be after the Easter egg is released. Then, because usually it's 12 a.m. on Tuesday to 12 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, and then 9 p.m.
9 p.m. our time. But there was one with the Dead of the Night. They released it at 10 a.m. on the day of. So Tuesday at 10 a.m. they released it. So I'm wondering if, because of the backlash of how late it was, maybe they decided, let's go back to the usual thing where it's midnight Eastern time and then 9 p.m. Pacific Standard, which for Kyle and I, that's a complete benefit because we can have at least a couple hours to get in there.
Oh yeah.
Either way, I'm screwed because I'm stuck at work for 2 days.
And that's a rip and an L for Penguin once again.
Yeah, another rip and an L for Penguin.
But
I wonder why he said he loses that life.
Yeah, I'll be on that heavy grind, especially because I'm gonna have the house to myself. So I'll be on the heavy grind.
He's gonna be up all night drinking that G Fuel for the boys.
Oh, you know, man, I got that Rockstar with ginseng and tea, man. Oh, it's gonna be on.
I'd rather drink Gatorade, thank you.
Gatorade.
That's correct.
Water sucks. It really sucks.
Water. Oh my God, come out, water boy.
This is the last map in the Chaos chapter for this season. So.
And then you have
Ether.
And then all Ether the next couple of DLCs.
Yeah. Oh man, if this is any indication, if it seems to be a common thread with Call of Duty. It seems like the last few zombies, well, except for the World War II, we won't talk about that one. At least for the more relevant ones, like Treyarch's version,
was terrible.
And Infinity War, their DLC 2, Shaolin Shuffle, was my absolute all-time favorite. It was lit, dude. It was so fun. I always love playing that Easter egg. Then, for DLC 2 of this one, we have Ancient Evil, which everybody, including the ones that have been knocking this series, are loving. So, I have
even Becky likes it.
Even Becky, right?
Oh my God. See, Becky's getting hyped for it too. She's like, Becky, they're talking about Easter egg, Becky.
Becky. But
just so you guys know in the chat, my mom is saying Blackie, not Becky.
Oh, Blackie.
It's still funny when we say Becky. Becky is now a meme.
Too bad. She's been a meme for one thing.
If you guys want to know the backstory about that, I have a guinea pig that's named Blackie.
Yeah, you told us. But still, it's funny
when
we say Becky. So
I know that. You said that like a while ago.
I'm sorry, but that's racist. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sounding like that one person.
How's it racist? I don't even like NASCAR.
Oh, God.
So if I call it Jigglypuff Oompa Loompa, is that racist?
Well, here's the joke I had with NASCAR.
It's Pokemonist.
Well, here's the joke I had with NASCAR. I think one of my mom's older friends, before he passed away, he said this: take one half of the cars, make them go one way, and then the other half of the cars, make them go the other way, and then just like, let's just see what happens. Let's just put it in there.
Actually, the best joke to me that I've heard for NASCAR, and it still makes me laugh when I think about it, is I want to say it was Larry the Cable Guy. He made the comment where he's like, you know what? I just want the Viagra car to be #1 in the Busch standings just so I can hear it announced.
Oh my God. But anyways, going back to the DLC 2, like, I feel like with all the DLC 2s for Call of Duty, especially for the past couple of years, I mean, it's always been the best DLC. So obviously, with like Mob of the Dead, obviously, and then obviously Matt was talking about Shaolin Shuffle, and then we have and then I mean, I don't know about Zetsubo no Shima, obviously. I mean, that was kind of a map, but I feel like this map will probably be...
That was a mistake. That should have been number 2.
Horizon Drak should have been... Yeah, Horizon Drak for BO3 was probably my favorite DLC map out of all of them.
I can't get a Kindle to save my life, bro.
And the boss fight was just... That's the DLC that got introduced to boss fights also. That was the DLC that started the boss fights in Zombies.
The good old spider boss fight.
Oh, it wasn't the spider boss. It was the
big old Groot.
Yeah, well, not that. It was. I'm talking about Horizon Drak. Wasn't the Gatekeeper?
Oh, it was the Seeker.
Yeah. It was the Seeker. Yeah.
Yeah, the Seeker
was the thing.
The Seeker.
Yeah, and then you had Takio for the. Takio was the giant tree. And Zetsubo, and then Nikolai's robot, and then obviously Shadow Man was part of the BO3 story. But then for this one, you don't know who's going to be the boss. Well, then again, you might have a prediction. Everybody's saying the Oracle's going to be the final boss, but
I doubt it. She'll probably have a. If anything,
she will be the one that calls in the final boss.
Probably.
She'll be calling in Medusa. Because if you look at the symbolism of one of the things they showed on the trailer, one of the things of symbolism is the part where the Sentinel artifact is death gripped by a statue with no head on it. Factuality that's Medusa, and that's probably an actual reenactment because that's a theater where they were standing in. That's the actual theater in Delphi that plays homage to the gods, and that particular. That's not funny. That particular... perfectly timed again. But if that particular symbolism is the person with the crown is probably symbolizing Poseidon. And if you look at the Greek mythology, Poseidon, who also was the name that was translated to the entrance of the temple...
That's what I nicknamed my Kyogres.
Poseidon is... he is obsessed with Medusa, and if you look at why does Medusa have snakes on her head, he actually cursed her to the earth where he beheaded a lot of the women that he loved, but Medusa, because she was so beautiful to him, he kept her beauty on her face, but cursed her with the snakes on her head to kind of say like, oh, suck it, this is what you get for not liking me, basically.
What is it like? She liked a different god or a mortal, so he cursed her to anybody that looked at her would be turned to stone too.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Yep, that was the whole story behind that. If you looked at her and then turned to stone.
Be what Medusa? Maybe Medusa was.
You're pretty much dead at that point.
I'm wondering if they're going to make it to where if you behead Medusa and you face the Oracle, maybe there's a trial where you can use Medusa's head as a weapon, as another wonder weapon.
Yeah, that's what.
You can use her head to turn.
It was either a wonder weapon or it's going to be the key to open Pack-a-Punch because it looked like the Pack-a-Punch area.
Well, here's another thing. Speaking of wonder weapons, I actually had another idea though. We were talking about like all the gods and Zeus and Poseidon and I guess you can put Apollo in there too. What if there's like multiple different? Yeah. I was gonna say, what if there's gonna be like multiple different weapons? Like, how all the bows, the bows had like their whole elemental thing on Horizon Drak. What if like each god, like with Zeus you could get the lightning bow, Poseidon you get like the ice bow or the water bow or something, then Apollo's is fire. Or Poseidon does have a little bit of ice too, I know that, but like
if you think about the other maps for I was gonna say, if you think about the other maps, the wonder weapons, if you really looked at them, were based on the elements from the gods. Like Voyage was based off of Poseidon, the Kraken. And what was it?
Nine was based off of Ra, I believe.
Yeah, 9 was based off
of Ra with the scorpion when you shot it. And the ones in Dead of the Night, when you actually got it fully upgraded, it would the main thing it focused on was Earth elements, which was Danu.
Danu, yeah, and then this one's Zeus. That's the theme that they had off of Reddit too. That was a great theory I heard on
Dude,
Reddit.
that's
really good.
Well, I feel like there's gonna be multiple though. Multiple wonder
There is,
weapons.
because if you look at the trailer, there's a skull with horns on it. That could be something that you can use as a wonder weapon. That could be like a fire thing. And one of the big ones they highlighted was the it looked like a gauntlet. I think it's the gauntlet of
Fist of Gaia.
The Fist of
yeah,
Gaia.
the Fist of
yeah.
Gaia. Because the fact you think about it, when you use that, it actually either shoots like a laser beam from the sky, or
Thanos' gauntlet.
I'm firing my lasers.
I'm calling the new perk the Thanos Snap. That's because it looks like that.
Hey, appreciate the host, Shadow. Appreciate it, man.
You're welcome. They disintegrate. But yeah, there's so many good things happening in Easter egg. It's actually super,
For the
super
boys.
hyped for that thing. Good God, Penguin! I just can't get a Kindle to save my life right now, man. What the hell? I've wasted $20,000 on this thing, and it's not giving me it.
Here, let me go. I got 5. So let me go and drop this, and then you can grab that.
So yeah, for that map, yeah, I'm super hyped for it. It looks very, very good. Like it looks like they combined their heads together between Blundell's
Abstract. Thank you for the
incredibly
host.
difficult Easter eggs and Lee Ross's creativity. As this, I know for it, they've really put their heart and soul into this one. They really want it. Blundell takes it to heart. He hates the fact that people are not hyped about his zombies, especially. I think he personally gets offended by that. You know, because for so many years, I think Blundell gets personally very offended about the fact that nobody likes his zombies Easter eggs. Like even his main boys, his main squeezes. Noah has
Milo really took a crap on him.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. If his biggest fan is saying no, Noah's won a record saying that he was done with zombies for a while. He was as hyped for this zombies as he was for World War II, which is not a lot.
And now Noah J plays a lot of Battle Royale games, and he's gotten absolutely.
He's all about it.
Yeah, he's just an absolute monster at Apex and all those other ones.
He's a
Kyle,
PC
what
guy,
is that
so.
hat you have on?
What is that? What?
What is that hat you have on? It looks funny.
Oh, yeah, you're so funny. You are so
That's a
funny.
Hornet. Damn it!
I
This is
like
the closest
how-
I've gotten to an S.
I like how
go
it
get
looks brown.
No.
Shouldn't it be blue and white?
Anyway.
No, this is one of my old man's helmets, or not helmets, hats. But yeah, it's a gray Dodger hat, and it has like a blue bill on the front of it. It's pretty cool though. I like it.
You should get
But
one of the
going back
new
to,
Arrow ones.
I know there's a
Going back
ton
to
of
what
people
we're
in
saying,
there. There's a ton of
like
people that
Noah
would
and
do that.
Milo, they're also the reasons that people hated on IW so much because they said they didn't like it at first.
I like the game.
Oh, IW was super hyped, dude.
Yep. But it's just like they have so much of an influence on their sheep that just either follow
they're
suit
sheep.
or don't. And if they come out and say Fortnite's the best game ever, people love Fortnite and they start playing it. If they came out and said Apex sucked, nobody would play
People-
Apex.
When people say that, I just block, remove from context, block on everything. Fortnite is not better than Apex.
Well, here's the other thing. When Fortnite... No,
At least in
I'm
my
just saying
opinion.
if they said. No, I was just saying if they said. But here's the other thing, like, if you go back to when Fortnite first came out, myself and others were streaming it off and on, and they hated it, so nobody wanted to play it, and then all of a sudden Wildcat, Noah, Ninja, and all these started playing and, like, streaming it and saying, oh, it's a great game. So then all of a sudden, everybody and their brother wants to start streaming Fortnite now.
Well, here's the other thing though I was going to
Hashtag
mention too,
sheeps.
because I can kind of, it's not mostly me, but somebody I know kind of related to that. She actually, well, I'm not going to say this person's name. She didn't want to play Fortnite at first. Like, she was like, oh, why is everybody playing Fortnite, you know? And then she's like, you know, maybe one day, you know, I'll give it a try. Maybe I'll stream it if it goes well, it goes well. And now she has like almost every other Fortnite skin in the game. It's just, it's like basically she has more skins than the entire Smash Brothers Ultimate roster. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah, and the roster for
I played
Smash
it
Bros.
'cause-
is pretty big.
I actually enjoy the game, but...
I mean, I enjoy it
That's the
too.
way-
It's fine. I only do it for the challenge though. I don't really take the game seriously anymore.
No, it's more like we were saying that one time where somebody said they didn't know I played. I was like, yeah, I play, and then you told him, yeah, he likes to troll people because I'll hide in the bush with a silenced weapon and pop them as they run by and then freak them out because they don't know where they got shot from.
You just hide in the bush.
Oh, so you're the one that made me hate Fortnite. Okay, just kidding.
Probably if you were in a separate game.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna get Kindle. I'm not gonna get a Kindle. It keeps fucking me over, dude. I'm not gonna get it. It's not gonna happen. I'm just gonna stick with my rocket launcher. Let's get another round, get some more points. Yeah, Ancient Evil's gonna be fire, dude. Straight fire. I think it's gonna be really good.
How would you rate? How would you rate it out of 10 though? How would 10 being the best, and obviously 1 being the worst?
Well, I can't really give a legit one just without playing it first, but I mean, compared to
we're
Dead
talking
of
about
the Night, I mean,
we're talking about the hype meter.
Oh, hype meter? Oh, absolutely. Well, considering they advertise it much better than they have everything else. Oh God. Hello.
Yeah, so special enemies.
Until you run into special enemies, and then look what's gonna happen there.
Yeah.
I wonder what the special enemy is gonna be in that map, though. That makes me wonder.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
One of the special enemies actually kind of does look like Goro for Mortal Kombat.
Well, Goro's going to be that guy's actually going to end up being the brute for that map, the mini boss, or he's going to be like the Blight Father for that map, I think.
Do you think the Blight Father makes a return in this map?
Probably in the boss fight, they're going to throw everything at you.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, they're going to throw everything.
Damn. And it's funny because they're throwing everything at you like it's the last map they were going to create, and like, no, they're not.
No, they still need to finish the Aether storyline. That's still going to be a thing.
For the chaos.
The question is, well, for this season, the question is that, my question would be, will the steps involve at least a quarter of Greek mythology? Because you think about it, alchemy symbols we thought would be super involved in a lot of the Easter eggs, but they really weren't. For like very minuscule are they involved, right?
Yeah, they were.
So I wonder if they're actually going to incorporate that. Because if you recall, there is actually something that I'm going to put out there. I don't care. People are not even going to take any light of this, but there is something I thought would be a step that when somebody tried to seek to Oracle's advice, or at least talk to her, they had to go through our purification process. And I wonder if they have a little bit of Shadows of Evil effect, where you have to have a purification process with your characters before you can, have vision, do the vision through the Oracle or what have you.
Probably.
And I think there was also they were talking about these tripods that you would use as well to kind of as part of the purification process. I wonder if I saw those in the trailer. Those little tripods they were talking about. So I'm like, oh. But there are a lot of theories we have with that, and I wonder if that's gonna go into it. But also, one of the last things I'll leave with it, just so we know we gotta move on. For me, the last thing I would say is what am I trying to say? Shit.
Shit.
Trying to say shit.
I forgot.
There we go.
Shit, it's like Back to the Future 3. Shit, I forgot.
I can't brainiflate while I'm playing right now. I can't do it. It's part of the historical aspect. They were talking about sacrifice is definitely going to be a big thing in this map. So I guess if all the theories that went out there, who is going to die in this map? If I had to say who would die, it would probably be Scarlet to make sure her dad, lives.
I was gonna say my top 2 picks for who's gonna end up being the final sacrifice that gets her dad back and everything is Scarlet herself or Shaw if it's not her dad.
I think her dad. Becky.
Now if it's just to get her dad
it's
back,
Becky. Becky's gonna be the sacrifice.
Dad. But if it's going to be a sacrifice to defeat the god and save the world, I would see her dad sacrificing himself to save his daughter.
Oh yeah, it makes sense because you think it'd be the same thing like you had in World War II, where we're going to trying to find her friend, and then her friend we found finally, and he ends up dying anyways. So we're like, oh, well, this is worthless.
Yeah, that's what pissed everybody off. Is like we just went through this entire hardcore version of the Easter egg to save him, and he went and killed himself anyway with a bomb.
Right?
Really? I'm like, damn it, dude.
Very anticlimactic.
Damn it, Becky.
Becky, it's all your fault. Oh, son of a bitch!
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a really fun Easter egg. I think it's gonna be really good. I'm super hyped about it. Obviously, the community is super hyped about it. I think because they're doing it right this time. They advertised it, they teased it a bunch of times, and then they finally did the full
where that
trailer.
came from, don't you?
Milo?
No, that came from Lee Ross when they brought him in to assist with it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing is, what they're also taking it from Lee Ross is the fact that he does a sit down and breaks down every map, either during the Easter egg or before it or after it.
Yeah,
always break it down.
Because the moment they started doing the tease, and then they said they were going to do a breakdown.
Oh yeah. I remember that now.
I was like, dude, that's what Lee Ross did in every map of IW.
Oh yeah.
Well, except for Attack. Attack, he didn't do very well with advertising Attack.
Well, Attack
he really did. What's up, baby?
I want to say they said for Attack they decided not to because of the chemical steps and stuff they didn't want to be giving away right away.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll feed him.
Aww.
Hey, Penguin. Yeah. Hey, Penguin, I got that game going, dude.
Okay.
I'm gonna bounce off. You go ahead.
Put it up.
And there it is, boys.
And there it is. And there's Penguin right there.
And there it is.
He's left
All right, boys,
alone again.
I gotta bow. I'll pop in chat.
Alrighty, that's
Penguin's
fine.
gonna have to slide away.
Oh, he died. Oh no. What
Oh,
do I do?
that's a GG and a L and a rip. But anyways.
I thought it sounded like you were about to say that's a GG and a rump.
GG and a rump, just one big rump. But anyways, I want to move on here. So let's move on here. We're gonna stick to PlayStation a little bit.
Gaming.
Oh yeah, we're still in gaming. We're still in gaming, but they a couple of things I want to talk about here real quick, and we'll get to the Walking Dead one here in a little bit. So Life is Strange. I don't know if you guys have played Life is Strange 2.
No, I know the story.
Episode 3 Wastelands is going to be released on May 9th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And for episode number 4, they will follow. Episode 4 will be on August 22nd. Same for for the same exact everything for available for every single system. And episode number 5 is December 3rd, which personally, episode 5 will be on December 3rd. Is when it gets released. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan on the time lapses between all those dates when those episodes are going to be released. I mean, I understand Square Enix wants to make sure they want to perfect the episodes and they don't have any glitches and whatnot. But I don't know. It just seems way too far out for these episodes, time wise, to me. I don't know about you guys, but personally, that's how I feel on it. Honestly,
it's a little far.
Yeah, and they did the same thing. I think for the first Life is Strange, and then Life is Strange Before the Storm, which I played the first Life is Strange. Really emotional game. A lot of things about chaos theory, and a lot of conspiracy theories about that. I could go on for 4 hours talking about this game, but at the same time, you just got to keep it moving, keep it short and sweet, and all that. But so basically, Wastelands is supposed to continue the story. Sean and Daniel Diaz is journeying to Mexico as they reach the Redwood Forest of California. Falling in with a community of drifters, and they will be exposed to new experiences and they will face new challenges. That's going to be a thing. So Life is Strange is a great game. Abstract. Yeah, I know you've been telling me about this, a long time. Actually, I've had some talks about a couple people that have liked the actual game itself too. Even Twitter, on here, PlayStation, streamings. I just love the game itself. I just happened to stumble upon it one day. I was like, you know what? I think episode 1 was free at the time. I think I might have bought for the pass. I think the season. I bought the deluxe version for it, so I got $40. It was $40 to buy for me. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so the $40, basically what it was, is just you get every single episode that comes out immediately as it drops. It's basically the season pass. So that's how I got the deluxe version for it, so I don't have to pay for anything else. I saved a couple bucks on buying episodes. So pretty cool stuff though. I think because I feel like I think episode 2 isn't that like $15? Yeah, because I feel like every episode was like $15 or somewhere around there.
Okay.
Don't quote me on it though. I know episode 2 was like $7 when it came out, but I bought the pass for it. It was like, I saved a couple of bucks, but honestly, I feel like it's a really good It's got a really good story. Life is Strange 2, and going back from, of course, if you picked, sacrificing Arcadia Bay or saving Arcadia Bay. Spoiler alert, guys, for those who are watching and haven't played it. I mean, I would definitely recommend playing Life is Strange, especially the series itself. Like, start from, Before the Storm, the first one.
Yeah.
I think Captain Spirit was obviously the demo version. I never played Captain Spirit, but I'll try to figure that one out eventually. And then not episode 2, but the Life is Strange 2 I currently have. There's a couple people that told me to go get it. Abstract, you're one of those people, by the way. You were like, do it, it's a great game, man. And I listened to the people, and I don't regret it one bit. Really good story. Now,
that's why we're voting for Kyle in 2020.
Let me ask you something. Shadow or Penguin? Yeah, Shadow or Penguin. Have you guys played it before?
I never
played
it,
first
but
one.
I know the story.
It actually was good. I just, with all the other games coming out that I was really interested in getting, like BO4,
it is Abstract,
Spider-Man,
amazing.
Obviously, Devil May Cry 5, Kingdom Hearts 3. It kind of took a back burner seat in the way of getting.
But it's so underrated though. The game is so underrated. If you want to just chill out and just play some.
It's underrated, but when it was like I was saying, versus the games that were coming out that I wanted to save my money for versus getting that one, that's the only reason I didn't get the second one.
Oh, yeah. I feel you on that. I think episode 1, is free. I think. But then the rest of the episodes are like, they cost money to get. So if you want to like at least play at least one episode, I think episode 1 is free to download, I think.
Yeah.
But Shadow, I mean, you've obviously, you were telling me like, you've heard of it, but you never played it before. I mean, I've actually streamed, the first Life is Strange plenty of times. Got like good amount of viewers on YouTube when YouTube actually, notifications were actually working properly. People were just wanting me to watch and play that and all that other jazz. But yeah, those days have come and gone now, sadly. But anywho, I was gonna say this though, especially like to Penguin. Like, what was your saddest moment on that game, if you remember? I remember mine.
In the first season?
It's been so long since
the
I
first
played
one.
it, I can't remember in all honesty.
Okay. So, but I remember a little bit of what my saddest moment was. It was spoiler alert. This contains spoilers, so if you don't want to hear the spoilers, cover your ears and fuck. Okay, Bill, shut up. But anyways, that being said, Bill has to ruin everything. But yeah, so spoilers again. Spoilers. If you guys don't want to hear spoilers, just mute the S.
Monica, shut up, Bill.
Yeah, spoilers for right here. So basically, right at the end, Max and Chloe, they're trying to survive through the storm, through obviously the tornado that's about to hit Arcadia Bay, and Max has to make a choice, to save her best friend Chloe, to save her and sacrifice Arcadia Bay, or keep Arcadia Bay safe and sacrifice Chloe. That was there were so many theories behind multiple those two endings. If you had the choice at Life is Strange 2, where if you had to basically, it gives you the option to say, it'll tell you if you sacrificed Arcadia Bay or not. You could go yes or no. If you choose not to sacrifice Arcadia Bay will still be in there for episode 1, spoilers by the way. And if you did manage to sacrifice Arcadia Bay, it's like in complete ruins, wiped off the map completely.
Damn.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I feel like, in all honesty, if Arcadia Bay was even sacrificed, they said it was the bad ending. There was a couple of theories I read. Like it was the bad idea to sacrifice Arcadia Bay, but
The good ending is letting Chloe die.
well, yeah. Well, here's the thing, though. I had, in my personal opinion,
Both
I
the
feel
bad
like if
endings
there
that
was
I
some,
didn't
I
say.
feel like if there were survivors from that Arcadia Bay disaster, like taking shelter underground and all that, I feel honestly like they could have rebuilt it in some way, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have rebuilt it in some way. It's easy, to rebuild. Like they get some, like it's like like a news story or something. Like like with the New Orleans thing, a long time ago with the flooding, and obviously their stadium was obviously like it was, and same thing with Minnesota's too, with their stadium caving in with all that snow and the floods from New Orleans a long time ago. Like that's what it reminds me of a little bit. I feel like they could have gotten together as a community, like the remaining survivors, and just rebuilt it. And that's where the whole chaos theory comes in, because you know how Max had those powers to rewind time to make better decisions and all that. Like if I ever met someone like her in real life, I would be legit scared for my life. I would be if she makes a mistake and she rewinds it to make something like a completely different decision, I would probably be dead in another reality. You kind of see how that works. Like if you could be alive in one reality, but you can be dead in the other reality. That's why it's scary, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a lot of talking. But I feel honestly, you guys would be scared too if you met someone like her.
Oh yeah. I mean, well, it doesn't matter who you are. If you meet somebody that literally, with just a thought, can change your existence, that kind
Right?
of freaks everybody out.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're like, oh, you got to keep this quiet and blah, blah, blah. My friend has superpowers. Yay. I'm like, at the same time, it's kind of scary also.
Yeah, 'cause
Especially
you can, because it's one of those where, what if they decide that in every reality, no matter what, you somehow found out and ruin their secret? Well, the best thing to do is just reverse before he knows and kill him.
Mm-hmm. Right? Exactly. See, that's where it goes back to my point. Obviously, you could be alive in one reality, you could be dead in another reality. That's where it leads right back to my point. And it's, like I said, very, very scary stuff. There's a lot of theories to that game. I could go to hours and hours talking about that, but we got to move on here. So it's pretty scary stuff, though. And speaking of scary stuff, The Walking Dead episode number 4, I think, also drops this week. I don't remember
Tuesday.
what.
Sure,
Yeah,
I can't
Tuesday.
remember.
Yeah, Tuesday. I think it's the same day as BO4 DLC 2. So that's another game we were going to talk about. That. Yeah, Telltale's.
Clementine story's gonna come to an end.
Yeah, I love the Walking Dead series.
Same.
especially the Telltale games. I've never played the third one, but I played the first season and the second season. Oh
You never played the
man,
third?
I have not. I've seen gameplay of it. I mean, it's very, very emotional. But the one that'll always get me.
All seasons are.
Yeah, the one that'll always get me though. At
The
least for
first
the
one.
moment. Yeah, Lee either turning into a zombie or Clementine having to shoot him to prevent him from being
Shoot him.
turned. I mean, that decision, I had to shoot him. I don't want to see the man get turned.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the one thing. And I know a lot of people are into, the Walking Dead Telltale games. And I am too, though. I mean, I haven't
Rest in
played it.
peace.
Yeah, I haven't played it, in a particularly long time, but I've seen a couple people stream it, though, and I've seen their streams, obviously. I mean, Telltale games, I know they're going out, they're kind of going belly up in the business end of it. And what I mean by that is that this is going to be the last, time they're going to be making something, Telltale related. I mean, all Telltale games are absolutely amazing in their own way. I think the last one I played was Tales from the Borderlands. That was actually a really, really good story also. From
The
Telltale.
Batman one was pretty good
Batman, yeah, I played the Batman for the first season of Batman. I haven't played the second one.
The Wolf Among Us was good.
I've never played The Wolf Among Us. It's actually pretty awesome. I know the game actually does look good, but I've never played that.
Minecraft was trash.
I never played the Minecraft one. It just looked cheesy.
I never even played Minecraft itself, much less other things about it.
That one was garbage. Don't know why they made that.
But
because Minecraft was big with the kids or something, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you, what's your guys' favorite overall Telltale game?
Walking Dead, hands down.
Walking Dead. What about you, Penguin?
It has to be The Walking Dead.
Hands down. So much emotion.
It's the most longest one out of the Telltale games. It's like the current longest one until they go.
Until now.
Actually, hang on. Actually, the Air. What was it? Oh wait, no, that's the. Oh wait, that's the other one. Yeah, 2012 I think was the you're saying that, Shadow, is when it actually got released. And that was on the PlayStation 3 too. And I remember playing it through the first time. It's really easy to get like 100% trophies in. If you haven't got 100% trophies in that, then I don't know what's wrong with you. But
I know,
anywho,
it's easy as hell.
It's like one of the most easiest games to get a 100%. Even if it's like if it doesn't have a platinum, it's whatever. Just 100%. It's really easy to do. But yeah, for me though, I would say Walking Dead, obviously, and then I would definitely say the Batman one because I'm a huge sucker for Batman-related stuff. That would be number 2 for me. And I think
my favorite DC hero.
And then my third one, I think as of currently, I would say Tales from the Borderlands. At least as of currently, until I played Wolf Among Us. Which that'll probably be it'll probably be changed as soon as I play that, but at the same time, that's just my top 3 list for right now. Walking Dead is going to be good. Oh, you already know Abstract. It's going to be once that gets released. I feel like it's going to be a competition of BO4 DLC 2 for zombies versus The Walking Dead episode 4. Because it's going to be interesting how that episode's going to play out after the whole confrontation, between Clementine and Lily. Spoiler alert, by the way, if you guys haven't seen it, just cover your ears, mute the stream or the video if you're watching on YouTube or watching on Twitch, whatever. I feel honestly it's gonna be insane. I feel like that episode's gonna be it's super hyped up. I feel like they're gonna do something with it. Storyline wise, it's gonna be insane. I know it's going to be insane for definite fact.
I was going to say, they'd probably be kind of stupid not to do something with it.
Right? Like make it like a complete 180, like somebody somebody dies from that group, right? Well, which could happen, I'm not saying it won't happen, but it's definitely a possibility though, because I know there's a lot of possibilities with that game. So, anyways, I wanna go real quick here to some Nintendo stuff. I know they announced a couple of days ago the all the indie related stuff, the indie games that are coming to Nintendo Switch. And I don't know if you guys remember Cuphead.
That game is rage-inducing.
Your Penguins is like, oh god, that game. That is coming to the Nintendo Switch on April 18th. I don't know how much money that's going to cost, though, but... I mean, Cuphead was extremely popular when it first came out. Like, nobody knew what it was, but except it's rage indicting, and yeah, it's just...
Indicting?
Yeah, I can't speak, I know. I'm trying to make up words.
It makes him so mad he can't say the right word.
It makes me so mad I just can't say it right, man. I am super tired, but... Yeah, there's just so... It's a rage fest. That's basically what that game is, especially like when you have it like on the hardest mode. I mean, I've wanted to play it myself. I've never really played it personally, but I wish they really had this for PlayStation 4. I mean, if they had it, I would have definitely played it. It's kind of like they released it for the Nintendo Switch and they have it on Xbox One and PC. Why did PS4 people get some love? Like, what's going on with that, man? But that's like the one. That was like the one game they. That's the thing. Like, they announced the most important games right for the Switch, like right at the beginning, and that's what I noticed with their directs, with their Nintendo Direct live stream. They always announce the important games right away. Like Super Mario Maker 2 was like one of the things they announced. And I think they announced another game like right at the end. I'll get to that here in a little bit, but What do you think? What do you guys think of Cuphead going to the Switch? Like, I want to hear your guys' thoughts.
There's going to be a lot of broken Switch remotes.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you
That's all
already
you can say.
if there wasn't anything broken before, oh god.
And more race compilations on YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be a thing. I mean, on paper the game does look fun, but I mean, if there was a certain level I couldn't beat, like it took me like so long to beat, I would just probably quit too.
Yeah.
But okay, so we got Cuphead on that. Let's see what else is another one. There was a what was it? Oh no, I remember it was an indie game where it challenged players. Oh, it was Red Lantern. That's what it was. So basically, you're a musher that becomes lost in the Alaskan tundra, and you're and you have a team of 5 sled dogs, and basically, you're in the grueling Iditarod race, and you must fend off bears, resist frostbite, and take care of the dogs while navigating to the wilderness and trying to return home. Basically, that feels like that's going to be an intense indie game in a way. Because basically, you're just a musher in Alaska. I feel like that's going to have some emotion behind it, too. The devil level on Cuphead, right? Abstract? What's up, Cactus? But, yep, it's pretty much the Iditarod simulator is basically what it kind of reminds me of a little bit. But I feel like, when I saw that one of the dogs got killed by the bear, I just like my mouth. I just got emotional over that. It was just like I don't want to see any. That dog did not deserve to die, man. Poor puppy. It was bad. It was bad. Like the bear just completely you just destroyed the dog, and I just felt bad for it.
But damn it, Bear Nips.
Yeah, Bear Nips. But anyways, yeah, but hopefully, I feel like with players though, I feel like honestly, it's not going to be that way. Like, hopefully, they'll try to find ways to avoid, getting taken out by the bears, avoiding the wilderness and all that.
Yeah.
But there'll be a thing where players can avoid that, so that'll be at least a good thing to know. I don't know why Nintendo actually showed the dog dying to the bear. I mean, that was kind of sad, honestly. But rest in peace to that dog.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, that's what I know.
Nintendo hates dogs, apparently.
Well, they made Nintendogs, so they don't hate them completely.
Nintendogs.
Nintendogs, yeah, that was the thing a long time. Actually, it's a true story. They did have a pug in that game. But anyway,
let's make up for all the dogs they killed in their games.
Damn, that is so mean, Penguin. How could you? But here's another important game they actually announced. This is actually a pretty big one too. So basically, if you guys know Legend of Zelda game, obviously the whole franchise, they're gonna cross over with another indie game. It's called Cadence of Hyrule. Now, basically, it's like I've never really played Crypt of the Necrodancer. I don't know if you guys have before. I mean, I've heard bits and pieces of it, but I'm like, at the same time, I mean, it's quite the interesting series because you play as Link or Zelda, depending on who you play as. The players explore randomly generated overworld and dungeons on a quest to save Hyrule and to beat every of the 25 remix Legend of Zelda tunes. There's a chance to move. Basically, it's kind of like a Fire Emblem a little bit. Crypt of the Necrodancer, and obviously, it's like if Fire Emblem and that other game I mentioned, the Crypt of the Necrodancer, pretty much had a kid. That's what this game would be. And the game scheduled basically to launch, later this spring. Don't know when. Don't have a date on that, but I don't know, honestly. I mean, I feel like Nintendo's doing a really good job in a way with trying to get certain games out there, like their own material into indie games. And I feel like that's what not a lot of consoles are actually doing, like getting in touch with their own indie games in a way. You guys know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's one of the first few that did that.
No, you're good, Matt. It's all good.
I want to say one of the first few games.
You hate how the Switch is only working with Xbox? Yeah, that was another thing too, Cactus. Yeah, so the Switch is actually working with a lot of companies in a way.
Damn it.
Yeah.
They're trying to be
I
the
was gonna say,
superior console, and I feel like as of right now, I feel like Nintendo's become the superior console over PS4, over Xbox, and maybe PC for that matter. And not just like, I'm not saying that just because I'm a Nintendo fanboy, no. I'm saying that from a business standpoint. Like what they're doing, what they're actually, achieving through other indie games, what they're trying to do to get their customers involved, though. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Well, it's not just indie games where they're allowing cross-platform on certain games with any console or PC, and even Fortnite now has allowed that because I was playing with a friend that was on their Xbox and I was on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
So they're starting to like, hey, we're going to miss out on a lot of stuff if we don't start allowing cross-platforming between Xbox, PS4, and PC a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you're going to start seeing it to where I honestly believe it'll eventually come down to where there's only going to be like one gaming platform in the future.
Oh, yeah.
Give it about 10 years, because where they keep cross-platforming, eventually the companies will probably merge and be like, why do we have separate, gaming systems when...
Yeah, Abstract, you already know, man. Because, you see Nintendo... Yeah, Nintendo obviously is big. They're making really big moves, and I'm super happy about that. Like, if I wasn't, a Call of Duty streamer, like, COD, Apex, Fortnite, PlayStation, I would be streaming a lot of Nintendo games, low key. And speaking of which,
you need an Elgato.
Yeah, that too. I'm gonna definitely work on that. I will try to stream some Nintendo games, especially like try to do that, later on this year for sure. Like, the upcoming Pokemon Sword and Shield coming out. Maybe get some Zelda games in there, maybe get like a Nintendo 64 or something. I can try to like hook up the Elgato to it and I'll stream that for you guys,
Nice.
Like, obviously, Ocarina of Time is probably like my favorite video game ever. Along with, Super Mario 64, Majora's Mask might be up there. Actually, there was a Zelda game I've never touched. Hold on, before I get... Yeah, Wind Waker was the one I've never touched. I mean, I played on a GameCube. I played Luigi's Mansion, Metroid, Super Smash Bros. Melee, and all that. But hold on, I want to read Cactus's thing. If you can't beat him, join him. But at least you can play Cuphead now. Yeah. Oh, that was a very classic game right there. A long time ago. Probably like one of the most underrated. In fact, isn't that getting remade for like the Switch?
Yep.
That's what I heard. It was like getting remade.
Yeah. Last I heard was they were going to remake it because first they brought it out. It has its own comic book series now.
Mm-hmm.
And the fans were saying, please remake the game. So now they're talking about, like you said, they're doing a remake for the Switch.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, like I said, that's what goes back to my point, though, is that Nintendo's making all these moves, though.
Yep. And another game that I hope they remake, because on the Nintendo 64, for Star Wars fans, it was actually a pretty decent game, Shadows of the Empire, I think is what it was called.
I remember playing Rogue Squadron and Rogue Squadron 2 a long time ago, and that game was pretty fun in its own right, also.
Yeah.
Because you remember Star Wars Rogue Squadron... The best part about it was that you could unlock certain codes with like cheat codes and stuff way back when. So that was also like one of the most fun games I've had, especially in quite a while too. Yeah, that Rogue Squadron 2, definitely some great and awesome games.
Yep. I know it's going to be getting off Nintendo, but a game I really want them to remake and repurpose and bring back out like they did with Crash Bandicoot and Spyro is Gex.
I think Crash Team Racing is actually coming. That's getting remade to the PlayStation. Yeah, so that's going to be super hyped also. The thing about Nintendo in the past is that there's too many indie games no one knows, or just... Yeah, but I feel like Nintendo's, like I was saying with Cadence of Hyrule, they're trying to make they're trying to bring their own franchises and to try to cross them over with indie games. Such as Crypt of the NecroDancer, which, I've heard a couple of things about, never really played it before, as I mentioned before. But at the same time, I feel like honestly they're trying to make these super big moves so that way their games don't suck, so that the way that people can hear about these games and that jazz, you know? That's how I would feel about that. But anyway, so Shadow, your thoughts?
About what?
Weren't you listening, man? You weren't
That's what
listening
happens
at
when you're
all.
trying to focus.
Yeah, I hear you on that. 12 Labors of Hercules. I remember bits and pieces about that. Again, Cactus, but I think, yeah, wasn't that... Hold on, I gotta look this up here. I might be wrong with the date. Hold on, 12 Labors of Hercules. Oh yeah, this was on the Wii, I think. This is like an indie game for the Wii. That was like, yeah, nobody really... I mean, it looked really decent on play. Well, it is Greek mythology, and I'm a sucker for Greek mythology, but at the same time, it was just... Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it's just like nobody knew what that was about, though. Like, I mean, if it was me, though, I would definitely, like, give it a crack at it, but, you know, at the same time, it's like nobody else is going to figure out what the game is, so why even bother, right? And then that's the kind of thing, though. I mean, indie games are so underwhelming and underappreciated, especially like during the popularity, you know, with Battle Royale. And speaking of Battle Royale games, I think Firestorm, the Battlefield Battle Royale, that's set to be released here sometime soon in a Battlefield 5 update.
Yeah, but the other thing that's kind of worrying me, though, with these Battle Royale games is from the success of PUBG and Fortnite, you're having an overwhelming amount of Battle Royale games come out now, and it's going to wear people down where they're sick of Battle Royales.
Oh, yeah, no question. They're going to want to move on to something else, though. Especially move on to something else. And speaking of, actually, there was another thing I was going to mention, too. Like, moving on to something else, though. The Google thing that they actually dropped. The Stadia, yeah, Google Stadia, the new gaming platform system from the Google Store. What is everybody's thoughts on that? Like, that could...
I still got to research more on it.
Yeah, because I remember, because I put a little thing on Twitter, and people were telling me that, you know, that it might be, you know, a big thing, may not be, but I feel like consoles are probably still going to be, you know, they're probably going to still outsell it, though. It kind of reminds me of the Philips CDI a little bit. The market will slow down and normalize itself back to how it was before Battle Royale was a thing. Yeah, I think you're right, Abstract. I think you're absolutely right. But going back to Stadia real quick, basically, if you guys don't know what Stadia is, it's basically, it's going to be Google's new gaming platform. And I feel like, honestly, that's probably going to be a toss-up on how this thing is going to sell. It could go either way, basically. It could either do really good or it could be really bad, in my honest opinion. Yeah. It's just like, you know, like I was mentioning before, that Google thing might be the future of gaming from what I've heard. I mean, I don't know, though. Like I said, like, everybody was talking about, if you guys don't remember the Philips CDI, as I mentioned, you know, like a minute ago or two, that was supposed to be, like, the big future for gaming, you know, back in the 90s, but it was released way, way, way too late before, when it was in the prime, when Nintendo... Super Nintendo was in its prime, Sega Genesis was in its prime. Maybe if the Philips CDI would have been released like way before when, like maybe 88, 89, somewhere around there, along with like the regular Nintendo, I feel like it would have like sold more copies, but then, you know, at the same time, they released it way, way, way too late. They released it way too late.
What was it? Years ago, was it Nintendo Virtual or what? It was basically a VR system that came out for a home console, and it didn't go over very well. But I think that's because it was released way ahead of its time before people knew what to do with that technology.
Yeah, that's how. And you know, yeah, the Philips, and then going back to the Philips CDI here, I think the CDs for it. I know a couple of CDs like, you know, Hotel Mario. Well, that game was super bad. I recommend not playing that because the cutscenes are just awful. And Obviously, they had Link, The Faces of Evil, Zelda: The Wand. I mean, I played those games before. Yeah, I mean, the beats, the music's alright for it. I mean, the gameplay wasn't too terrible. It was just, but the one thing I didn't like with those games was just the cutscenes and the voice acting was just absolutely terrible. But yeah, that's just going back though to all those things. They released that way too late, in my personal opinion.
Yep. But as in games you're looking forward to playing, even though they might already be out, what are some of the ones you're looking forward to?
That's the wrong thing, Cactus. That's the wrong thing. But yeah, I do remember it though. But it is the wrong thing. But anyways, I feel like that's gonna do it for our show today. So again, I want to thank everybody. Shouts out to Mattman, the Penguinator, and Burning Shadow, of course, for sticking around for the show. I know I said it was going to be a longer show, but then at the same time we were talking about it so much that we've been...
Yeah.
Time just goes by super fast, and all of a sudden we talked about everything, and boom, here we are. Hitting up. I mean, it's a little...
Fruits basket.
Yeah, fruits basket for the win. Well, shout out to Haley.
Win.
Shout out to Haley also, if you're watching. I know she said she was going to be on, but... Oh well, you know, I bet she's got some things to take care of, but you know, that's life. You know, you got to take care of that. But anyways, if you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. Turn on those post notifications. If you're, you know, like I said, new to the channel, and we are on the road to 10K. And if you guys are watching on Twitch, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys next week. I'm Kyle the Pug, and you guys have a blessed and wonderful week, and you guys stay humble. So, have a good one, guys. See you next week.
Bark, bark.
Peace.
All right, there we go. Okay, my thing wasn't working for a second. But anyways, bye, guys.